Here we go. We continue. We do. We continue. Again, this title music, for some reason, very loud. What happened there? Yes, that's what we want. Yes, that is what we want. Where was we? Where was we? It's been 2 days. I've completely forgotten everything about it. We are... Does it tell us where we are? No. Okay. We're here apparently. What was I doing? Wellspring. Greenbelt. Scatter yards. It's gonna be here somewhere, surely. Hang on, let's start with sourcing supplies. We're glitched up the wazoo next time we get dice. You would think somewhere it would tell you where we currently are, right? Contracts. No name. If I zoom out, I can look at what the other ones are called. Wellspring, I guess that's where we're going. So we're tracking this one then. Gotcha. But we might as well stay here a couple of days and make some money or something. We've got exactly 1,000 cryo. Crypto. Cryo. Right. What have and haven't I done? So I haven't done this. So might as well. Right, we're on Holmes Rock. Thank you for telling me that. And we've got 4 ones, which can get fucked, really, you know? What kind of help offloading? I'm just going to try and see what happens if we get negative. It was neutral. Alright, I'm going to try and see what happens if we get negative. Oh, we got neutral. Alright, I'll take it. I'm going to say no to 9 cryo. Right, so it's just loss of energy, which isn't, you know, the end of the world, really. I mean, you can see it from here, but it's not the end of the world. Nice! Can't really complain about that at all, so I'm not gonna. End cycle. So it only does 2, but I don't understand how that works, to be honest. Alright, well... let's do this one. Ooh, some supplies as well. That's excellent. New location. Okay. Sun catchers. Debug array system. Sell raw scrap. I don't want to do that. Oh, thanks very much. So, again, what's this gonna get us if it's negative? Yeah, 1 energy. Let's risk it for the biscuit again. We're gonna have to go get some food. In fact, I'll get some food now. Somewhere I'll have food, right? Yes, here, the one that has a food icon, you idiot. You idiot. Okay. So this one, we managed to have 3 ones go okay, but not this time. Let's see. Nice. Only 6 cryo. This one was giving more, I think. Oh, but yeah, okay. Nah, we'll stick to the other one, because I've actually got the proficiency for it. Yeah. Roll the dice. Roll it. You scum. You utter bastard. Alright, well, the issue here is I should have had it on fuel, actually. I'm an idiot. Because there's nowhere here to buy fuel. Except for here, where you can buy fuel. Alright, okay. Let's finish this off with a nice 6. And he gave me 1 for a positive? I'm outraged. Alright, so that's done. Oh, yeah, okay. In Holmes Rock, it's impossible to get away from the feeling of living, working, and eating in a ruin. Most of the belt is built on top of the remains of Solheim's infrastructure, but there are plenty of places where the modifications or extensions to those structures eclipse the original foundation. In Holmes Rock, it is the reverse. The station is a small, warm patch at the center of a network of tunnels and bays that stretch within the rock, most of them dark, damp, and wrecked. A sprawling foundation that will never be built upon. Every so often, gliding on your way between Senna's Rest and the Suncatchers, or from the docks to the depot, you find yourself in one of these dark tunnels. That's where you are now. You float stopped at a 4-way intersection, no light visible down any tunnel. Always go left. You kick off gently from the wall and head into a cylindrical passage clad with panels that hold back the rock. It is wider than the others, and here and there are little droplets of water float undisturbed. At the far end, you see a faint point of light, the warm glow of a lit passage. Suddenly, you hear a rustling in the dark, and a shrill sound that you can't place. There is something out there. Possible... doing it. Neutral. Check past. You kick off hard and glide through the tunnel, feeling a few droplets of water gently splatter on your skin. You shake off the fear as you move. The dark doesn't scare you. Then it hits you. Something solid and meaty slamming into your stomach and spinning away. You press off the wall and push on as a shrill wail echoes behind you in the dark. What the hell was that? When you reach the lit passage beyond, you turn back, but the tunnel is silent and still. You continue on, but you can't shake the feeling of being followed as you ascend back up through the station. Perhaps next time you'll take a different route. New location to go. Abandoned. Get inside. But why would I want to do that? I have the data. I have enough. Do I want to do that? I guess so. Why not? And then find out I needed that for something else. You drown the locking system in data and it gives up and unseals the door. You are in. Your location discovered. Old, fabricated, decaying Neovend printer. Print component. There is a faded old Neovend printer in the bay. Feeding it data should authorize the component vending process. Neovend collapse. This colourful machine is corroded and collapsing. It has only a few prints left before it's just a pile of scrap. So I've got 3. I can do 3 of these. It's not going to be... unless it's doing 2 each time. I guess we find out. Probably only 1. Yeah. Wait, this is a... what did I get? Oh, I see this. I'm not trying to fill this up. This is negative. Hang on, I didn't see what I got. Pay attention. I get a rare component. Okay. Except I'm not... oh, that's raw scrap. Rare components. Look, I don't know. I haven't seen any other use for this for the time being, but probably a waste. Nice. That's what we can do for now. Absolute possible waste, but so be it. No, we'll stick to the other one where we've got the proficiencies. So do one of this. And make us some money. Give me my money. 9. And might as well risk this. Right, fine. We now need to buy fuel. Let's just restock completely. And we're on our way to Wellspring. Fast water extraction facility. Confirm. On my coffee. Lovely. Seraphin! The shout echoes through the ship, reaching you in the cockpit. You see the angle of Seraphin's head change, but he does not respond otherwise. Stay out of it. You stay silent. This doesn't concern you. Seraphin! You recognize the voice now. It's Bliss. Moments later, they come into the cockpit. Is no one listening? They look between the two of you. I guess that means one of you is guilty. Bliss shakes their head. Come on, you need to see this. You follow the irritated Bliss through the ship down into the cramped storage units tucked between the main ship and the hull. As you enter, you are greeted by total chaos. Amber globs of liquid Russian float in the air and cling to the walls, while chunks of dried food spin slowly, breaking into crumbs. See, Bliss fumes. Someone opened up one of the supply crates and left it like this. They point to a crate in the storage netting with the lid pushed open. You look at the mess spilling out from the crate. Who could have done this? Intuit. Inspect the remains. Neutral, yeah, of course. You take a moment to pick through the food and find a torn open pouch of liquid rations. You turn it in the light and see a set of evenly spaced gashes at the edge. Looking at the chaos, it's hard to imagine a person doing this, especially one of your crew. Bliss puffs out their cheeks. I need a break from this ship. They look at you. Help me tidy this up. You spend the rest of the journey packing the crate away and disposing of the spoiled supplies, but as you do, you can't help but wonder what actually happened here. When you are finished, you take one last look around the storage bay. As you gaze around the now cleared space, you have the same feeling of being observed by unseen eyes as you felt in the tunnels of Holmes Rock. I brought something back with me. As he brings the ship into Wellspring's docking ring, you notice a rare tension in Seraphin's piloting. He jerks the stick a little too hard while the docking bridge extends. Of course he does, and a proximity alarm goes off. He curses under his breath. Relax, it'll be okay. I've docked this ship 100 times, Sleeper. He keeps his eyes on the monitor. I am relaxed. That's not what I mean. Seraphin doesn't respond, but you see him grip the rig's control a little tighter. As the ship stops, the docking bridge connected, you lean forward and look out of the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. Winterspring? Where did Winterspring come from? The harsh, gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut, the asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along the horizon, you see the terraces of the pit head, where the current extraction effort must be taking place. Seraphin runs the shutdown sequence, and you unclip from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I'm going to head down to the cut. I've got a few leads to follow up on. You get the sense he isn't asking for permission. Fine by me. He nods, grunts, and glides out of the cockpit. You turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something? Bliss shoots you a look. He seems even more irritable than usual. He's looking for his sister. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Family trouble. That'll explain the irritation levels. I would recommend they zip up their jacket. We go after him before he pushes past someone that pushes back. No, let's leave him to it. Fine, but we're going to need a pilot if you ever want to leave this place. Let's hope he's feeling sensible. Looks like a stopover at Wellspring for a bit then. They zip their jacket. I'll be in the markets. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lotic Syndicate, Bliss shrugs. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. Eugen comes out of a side door as Bliss passes. He stretches and squints at you. Permission to find a bar down there? He grins. Just joking. I know I didn't need to ask. He winks and follows Bliss. I'll wait with the ship, Junie's voice echoes through the thin interior wall of the corridor. I've got archiving to catch up on. She pauses. There's nothing older than 1,000 cycles on that snowball anyway. Wellspring, the base of the Lotic Syndicate, as you look out across the icy surface, you remember Malik, the captain whose ship you saved and for whom you surveyed the ice asteroid. You also remember how he promised to repay you for your actions should you ever cross paths again. Perhaps Wellspring is a good place for you to make that happen. After all, if Seraphin's sister is here, surely the Lotic Syndicate would be the best place to find her. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Find Seraphine's sister. So you have a sister. Finish my coffee. Coffee. Dude. Wellspring cut. Settlement dug into the ice. Ice, baby. Dirty, wet and thriving, the cut is a layered industrial city that is as intimidating as its inhabitants. It can act like a local. The cut is filled with low-tech workers, which makes for a brash and bold atmosphere. You'll need to be the same if you want to explore. Or I can hack low-tech comms. Sure, you could wander, but the low-tech syndicate runs this place. Surely you can learn everything you need to know by tuning into their chatter. Let's just do a 6 over here. Gives me 2. New location. Better check it out. It's the bar, the Cutwater. So here's where I can make some money and I can buy a meal. Man, they're expensive out here. Alright, cool. For now, not necessary. Grab one of these. Neutral. Oh, neutral gave me ++. But it took a food off me. They took my food off me. Oh, there we go. Depot. That's where we buy fuel and also money, but I don't have endure. I could very much do with some food though. There we go. Boom. Lovely. Delicious. I'm gonna do this one again. Danger. Fuck off. Wait, yeah, so risky. Yeah, so risky would not give you losing energy, I suppose, whereas danger does. Take it anyway. Come on, at least neutral, thank you. Still lost energy. Here we go. Amazing Bliss. Amazing to think this place supplies most of the belt's water. Bliss looks across the Cutwater at the workers in their distinctive yellow gear. No wonder the syndicate runs it like a corporation. You look at those gathered in the low-ceilinged bar, gathered around cushioned couches and low magnetic tables, their voices bouncing off the metal walls. All of them wear low-tech clothing, a mark of their status as contractors for the belt's most powerful syndicate. At the far side of the bar, you spot Eugene, perched at the magnetic table with a bunch of miners. He appears to be playing some kind of local dice game, although given the amount of alcohol involved, it's hard to tell if gambling or drinking is the focus. Why not both? You look back to Bliss, who is watching another group quietly discussing something serious in the opposite corner. I don't like it one bit. What don't I like? I guess Lotic gets the job done? Bliss turns back to the bar and sips their drink through its metal straw. Well, that's the thing. I've been looking around Chasm Row, searching out components in the market. Down there, people don't seem so happy. Bliss meets your eye. There's a lot of talk of contracts. It seems Lotic's been locking down its workers, giving the war in the inner system as an excuse. They play with their metal straw, swirling the orbs of liquid in their sealed glass. The pressure is building, Sleeper. We shouldn't hang around here much longer, they sigh. We need to give Seraphine time. Well, Bliss raises an eyebrow. It sounds like I'm not the only outsider who's been hanging out in Chasm Row. I heard someone complaining about a rude young man asking too many questions. Bliss smiles. Who else could that be? They laugh. That's the place to start if you want to find our boy. They said he was asking about the rhyme market, but I have no idea what that is. Bliss looks out across the bar. Definitely a touchy subject for locals, though. I'll head there now. Bliss nods. I'll finish my drink. They smile. Let me know how it goes. You leave the Cutwater, shouldering your way through a crowd of boisterous contractors. There is a conspiratorial mood to the conversations now that Bliss has mentioned it, and you wonder what all the talk is about. You hear a bellow laugh from Eugene as you slip out the door. Better leave him to it. You feel the sudden cold as you leave the steaming bar and enter one of the icy passages cut into the asteroid itself. All this water in the hands of a single syndicate. If something goes wrong here, the belt will die of thirst long before the war reaches it. You turn up the collar of your jacket against the cold and head for Chasm Row. Chasm Row, take me home. Steaming Main Street. I can buy supplies. Find the rhyme market risky. Bliss said Seraphim was hunting for the rhyme market. Whatever it is, you'll need to get to know the area and its hidden ways to find it. Hidden rhyme. Seraphim was apparently asking about the rhyme market. Whatever that is, find it and you'll find your pilot. Well, I'm going to have to give this a risk. A risky go. Wow. I did move it on, even with negative, but it cost me money and energy. Oh, we don't have a timer here because we're out of the jurisdiction of the whatchamacallit. Nice. Let's go supplies and cycle. Take me home. Country roads. Okay. Let's get some food. Magnificent. And continue our foray into this nonsense. That's giving 2. Excellent. We've got some hope of finishing this. I didn't realize it changes what it says here. Man, something about the flow of people and goods is wrong here. More people enter than leave. Boxes disappear down alleys. You are close. Dark corroded door lies in front of you. The markings on it are right. This is the place. The markets of Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming orange-lit depths, the persistent condensation on each unit's windows, the gleam of the amber workers' suites, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this buried city. But among this you have noticed other details too. The freelance crews on the hunt for illicit tech, the conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, the light flickering up through floor grates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are the details you have followed to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones in dimly lit rooms, and as you drift towards what you know to be one of its entrances, the door bursts open in front of you. A large dark bundle glides out of the door and impacts the metal wall of the passage with an echoing bang, but your eyes are drawn by the imposing figure that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself on the frame. Kirk, imposing low-tech syndicate worker. Kirk! Khan! Stay out of Rhyme Market, rat. The man sends an orb of spit spinning after the bundle. The bundle unfolds and you suddenly recognize Seraphim, winded but straightening up to go back for more. Stop? What's going on? What's going on? I don't want to stop him. Do I want to stop him? Do I want to try and stop him? What's going on? The man turns towards you as you shout, and Seraphim, seeing the opportunity, kicks off flying into them with swinging fists. The two tumble in a flurry of blows, slamming into the doorframe until the man gets his legs between him and Seraphim and kicks him into the wall. Seraphim hits hard and floats away, a few crimson bubbles of blood drifting from his bust lip. Go after Seraphim. You glide over to Seraphim as he shakes himself awake. You put yourself between him and the figure. Know when you're beaten, rat, the man calls out. It's time to go home and lick your wounds. Seraphim exhales in frustration, his anger fading, replaced by the stinging pain of his injuries. You watch a perfectly round blob of blood form at the bottom of his nose. Want to explain what's happening? For the record, the man folds his arm. This one started it. He looks between the two of you, snooping around our meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes recalculating the situation since your arrival. I wasn't snooping, I'm looking for someone, Seraphim glads. If you'd taken a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you would have got that. The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Seraphim. Say I believe you. What were you doing at the meeting then? Missing persons ain't our business. All I heard is this is where the low-tech contractors meet, Seraphim sighs. I don't like you hearing that, not at all, and I'm going to need to ask you who told you that later. He straightens up. But yeah, this is where the contractors meet, as if that's anything to you. The person I'm looking for is a contractor. Seraphim's frustration rises again. She uses the cover name Luz. He pauses, a desperation entering his voice. Please, I think she might be my sister. Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Seraphim and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here. He retreats through the door. Get in. Get in! As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the medical door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kirk, he grunts, pointing at himself with a thick thumb. Contractors are my concern, but if Lotic catch us discussing contracts out there, he shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door and you glance inside to see a group gathered in a circle, all of them in workers' clothes. They are speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kirk. Let's not interrupt the meeting anymore, shall we? He glares playfully at Seraphim, who remains silent. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe with a rough hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly you come out through the ceiling of a wide and low hall. As far as you can see, crooked stalls and makeshift shelters dot the grilled floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drifts up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to the Rhyme Market. Gurk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Lotic don't know about this place, he smiles. Let's get a drink. He leads you off to a nearby store with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his legs onto one and you and Seraphim follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner and a drink in a straw-pierced packet is handed to each of you. Seraphim looks skeptically at the drink. We friends now or something? Look, Kirk takes a sip. I'm not going to apologize for putting you on your ass. That's on you. But like I said, I represent the contractors. And if someone is part of the family, well, he shrugs his massive shoulders, then they deserve to be heard out at least. You know who we're looking for? Luz, he said. I know a Luz, sure. Describe her. Kirk leans back on his stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Seraphim closes his eyes. Dark hair, used to wear it long and messy, bright eyes, broad shoulders. You see a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls. Tough but kind, tattoos, nervous laugh. He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk. That enough? Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. You feel something jump in Seraphim, an almost imperceptible tension rising. It's her, his sister. Your twin sister. Luz, Kirk speaks slowly, drinking between, or whatever her real name is one of the contractors here. She's part of the most recent contract Lotic registered. That means... Just tell me where she is, Seraphim demands, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying, Kirk gives Seraphim a pointed look, those new contractors are restricted to the pithead. In fact, that is what we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Seraphim looks away in frustration but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Lotic Syndicate has been trying to lock down Whelpspring. They went from a loose association of mining groups to an autocracy and started enforcing contracts with some seriously overreaching terms. Your sister, she's on one of those contracts. Lotic are acting like they own her and the others because according to their contracts they do, which is exactly what we want to do something about. This cycle, he forcefully taps the bar with a finger, we are voting on strike action and a full blockade of Flotsam. We will bring the syndicate to the table to... Seraphim knocks his drink away and kicks off from the table, disappearing into the market. What a brat. Stay with Kirk. Kirk watches Seraphim go with a disappointed look in his eyes. Your friend will go to the Lotic Syndicate, I know it. He sips from his drink. They won't help him there. Kirk's bright eyes meet yours. The Syndicate will do nothing for him or for you, trust me. I want to help you, Sleeper. I want to help your friend, but I need your help in return. I want to help. Good, Kirk nods. I knew you would. Kirk places a plastic pass card into your hand. It glints with the mark of the Lotic Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into its transparent interior. This will get you into the pithead. You can see for yourself what's happening there. Don't follow your friend to Lotic. Go to the pithead, find Luz yourself. He meets your eye. When you do, come back to me and we can discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. If you go to Lotic, if you meet with them, I can't help you. He releases your forearm and drifts back into the crowd, disappearing into the steam and darkness. You catch up with Seraphim in the bustle of the Rhyme Market among the steam and crowds. I can't have been the only one who saw his pitch coming a mile off. Seraphim is bristling with anger. What kind of idiots does he think we are? We should go back. No way, Seraphim glares at you. You heard the guy. He was about to recruit us for his great crusade against the Syndicate. Seraphim starts to push through the crowd towards the exit tunnel. I'm no one's tool and you shouldn't be either, Sleeper. He shoves his way forward. We don't need to get tied up in this. We just need to get her out. Seraphim forges on ahead and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As he disappears from view, you curse his impatience. I curse your impatience, Seraphim. I curse it. You float there for a moment, buffeted by passing people, clutching onto the Lotic Pass, trying to decide what to do next. New location discovered. Prime market. Buy scrap, buy rare components. Cool. Don't need any of that. Find Luz or meet with Lotic. What do you mean? Oh, here we go. Lotic operations. Where's the... Seraphim wants to meet with the syndicate bosses. He negotiated, says he needs your help. I don't want to talk to Lotic. I want to help Kirk. How do I do that? How do I do that? Lotic Depot, Cousin Row, Cutwater, Rye Market. What am I missing here? Oh, I can keep scrolling. Nice. Wellspring Pithead Ice Extraction Facility. Show Lotic Pass. With a Lotic Pass, like any of the workers or syndicate members carry, you should be able to gain access. Boom. The supervisor weighs you through, barely looking at the pass. You are in. We're in programs. New location, Pithead Canteen. Free food, but you better be careful. I can only do it 3 times. For free food, which I don't need at the moment. Search for Luz. The shaft is a constant flow of contractors, but you're determined to find Luz amongst all these faces, or join a work crew. The best way to find Luz would be to infiltrate the work crews and gain access to the deep parts of the mine. Finding Luz. The mine is a vast space filled with workers, but with patience and care you can find Seraphin's sister. You know it. I know it. I take my 1 and I get my negative, no doubt. Neutral. Okay, so neutral gives me +1 finding Luz. And negative just takes in energy. Fair enough. Back to the ship. Do I want supplies? Or fuel? Supplies are more expensive, so we'll wait till we've got 5 supplies and then move on to fuel. And we got a supply to scavenge fuel. Back to the wellspring. And let's get it all done. Nice. Positive is +2. We'd love to see it. Fucking waste of a neutral. Another neutral. Another neutral. All neutral. And we're 1 off. You just gotta love it. Drink some water. Some water. Give me the water. Alright, I might save the 6. Let's just do a 4. What does 3 do? No, we'll do a 4. Possibly neutral at the worst. And it's neutral, of course it is. I forgot I was to read. Damn it, I forgot to read. The shaft descends towards a sump in the depth of the pit. Here the air is freezing cold, to prevent the ice from melting into globules of floating water. If your breath carried water, you would be able to see it in the air, but the absence of steam in each exhalation only served to remind you of your own strangeness. Not that anyone else notices. The workers' heads are low, their eyes fixed on their work, shuttling chunks of ice and tools up and down the shaft. At the end of the nearby tunnels, you see the bright sparks of ice cutting in progress, slabs hanging in the air in that strange way they do in 0G. Some loose memories of the time before Darkside, before Lane, before Freedom come to your mind. The familiarity of the cold, the sparks, the endless toil. It chills you more than the ice-packed ice on either side of you ever could. You reach the bottom of the shaft, a metal grille marking the terminus. It squeals as you push open the barred doors set into it, and safety lights flicker on, lighting up glittering ice particles all around in their hard beams. It is as if the stars are held here in this cavern. As your eyes adjust, the massive space comes into focus. It seems to have no up or down, just countless dark shafts and terraced pits cut into its side. All around, silhouetted by their work lights, contractors cut and haul and gather. This is where those locked-in workers are being held, caught in a contract clause that permits an endless shift. The atmosphere is grim. At the center of the cavern floats a construction of welded-together habitation units. A heavy twist of cables stretches from this improvised structure past you and up the shaft behind, tethering it to a central power source. On each of the 6 sides of this strange apartment block, a set of struts project outwards, bracing the construction against the cavern walls. The block itself is wrapped in insulation, clad in protective plates. It glows with small apertures and lights. You approach the nearest entrance. Everything is bitten by rust, by decay. If the bars on the entrance weren't a clear enough indicator, it is obvious now that this place is a prison. The door scissors open, letting out a blast of warm air. You quickly duck inside and it seals rapidly behind you. The cramped interior passage glows warmly, but its ragged condition keeps it from feeling cozy. You follow the corridor, ducking beneath hanging wires and loose insulation. This is where you were told you will find Luz, or whatever her real name is. You come out into a communal mess. Counters and food preparation units fitted into the walls, cushioned stools and couches scattered around. A couple of contractors are stretched out in the space, one of them snoring loudly in the corner, another sipping from a food packet on a stool. Luz, Seraphin's sister? ? Suddenly, a door on the far side opens out to the cavern, letting in a flurry of ice shards that quickly become scattered orbs of water. You watch the figures as they glide. You watch the figure as they glide into the warm light of the interior with their dark hair and bright eyes, and know this is who you are looking for. You meet eyes with hers, and something sparks in that dull and cloying room. It's as if she recognizes you. Sleeper? She looks in a haze, her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat, her eyes still adjusting to the interior. I've been looking for you. You what? She squints. You see her scan you, taking in your clothes, the way you hold yourself, your face. For a moment you feel exposed, aware of your damaged vinyl skin, your industrial markings, your doll-like features. You feel the familiar sense of being objectified, but also something warmer below it, a recognition of what you are. She blinks, exhales, and shakes her head, realizing she is mistaken. Give me a second, alright? I just finished cutting 100 cubic meters of ice. She pulls back her hood. Haven't seen you down here before. They just contract you or something? The tension drops, but you get the feeling she isn't quite looking at you. She crosses to a food unit and pulls out a packet, sliding it into the warmer. She thumbs it on. First sleeper I've seen in a long while. She doesn't take her eyes off the slowly warming food. You'll do okay down here. I know you folks are tough and stick with a job. That's good. The rest I can show you once I've eaten. She laughs a little to herself. I'm with your brother. My brother? She pauses, her eyes not leaving the warmer. I think you have me confused with someone else. You're not listening. She turns to face you and you see a wet shine to her eyes. What are you going on about? You realize what you need to tell her. Seraphin is on Wellspring. The warmer chimes to let her know the food packet is ready, but she doesn't seem to notice. Seraphin? She takes a ragged breath, then steadies herself. Here? Not here, at the cut. She nods and then shakes her head. Well, if he trusts you with his name, I guess I should trust you with mine. She comes closer. I'm Chala. Dun, dun, dun. She smiles a warm smile. Now, where is my idiot brother? I'll take you to him. She laughs nervously. Sorry, this is not what I was expecting on my lunch break. Tala suddenly seems to take on some energy. She glances towards the corridor behind you and the door at its end. I sure hope you have a plan, Sleeper, because they do not want us locked in contractors getting out. She moves towards the corridor. There's security in the shaft and then again at the pit head. You must have passed through the checkpoint at the entrance too. I doubt we can bypass all those. She turns back, grabs her food packet, smiles at you and shepherds you towards the corridor. You could run a distraction maybe, or is Sarah on that already? You are slightly taken aback by her sudden change. We don't actually A blaring alarm sounds inside the habitation module, loud enough to wake the sleeping contractor with a start. You and Tyler exchange glances. Surely this can't be for you. Tyler rushes down the corridor and tears open the door at the far end, with you following close behind. The ice scatters, glittering in the interior light. The cavern is in chaos. You see dark-suited low-tech security wrestling with contractors lit by flashing red alerts. More contractors are coming in through the door in the grill you entered from, carrying bulky equipment. The equipment is blaring out a voice, Kirk's voice, echoing around the cavern. A look of panic crosses Tyler's face. Realize I need some screenshots for the thumbnails. Beautiful. I should have grabbed Kirk as well. Yes, save. Beautiful. Oh. Speak of the devil and he shall appear on your screen to be screenshotted. Yeet. Yeet. A general strike is now in effect. All contractors should down tools and hold in place. Extraction will cease until our terms are met. Kirk's voice distorts and shifts. We have blockaded all traffic to and from Wellspring. We seek the resignation of the Syndicate's leadership and for a new Workers' Council to be installed in its place. This cycle we will shut down the shaft. Any worker not willing to strike should leave now. There is a screech of noise and the message begins repeating. You watch as the security are pushed back towards the grill, outnumbered by the gathering workers. Tyler looks at you for guidance. Now's our chance. Tyler looks around the cavern, the red light reflecting in her wide eyes. She sighs, I need to stay. I won't abandon the others. What about Seraphim? Tell my brother what's happening. Tell him I'm not leaving until all of us are free. Tyler backs away, glancing over her shoulder at the others. You see them gathering their tools and taking them to be locked away in the hab module. I need to see this through, Sleeper, and you need to go. Find Seraphim, do what you can from out there. Help us change this place. And with that, she turns and glides off towards the others. You turn and head for the grill as quickly as you can, the way now cleared by the contractors. The handful of low-tech security push back up to somewhere near the pit head. As you ascend, other contractors shooting you dark looks as you do, you realize you have to speak with Kirk. Kirk unit! Kirk unit! You find Kirk at the pit head, directing contractors to barricade the entry points to the mine. So, you took my advice. Good, Kirk smiles. We're glad to have you as an ally here, Sleeper. What happens now? The Syndicate was arrogant. They did not believe we could do this. Kirk gestures towards the contractors welding plating across the checkpoints. But we far outnumber them. Their monopoly ends here. How can I help? Kirk leads you a little way away from the contractors. If you want to free those like Seraph and Sister, I will need your help. We have ships but not many, and the Syndicate still has tankers in operation. Our blockade is not complete. The debris field between here and the far spindle remains open. We need another tanker to occupy it and dissuade the Syndicate from trying to pass. All of our ships are in use, but your ship and your crew could help us take a tanker and secure the blockade. How will we take it? This will not be an assault. Kirk puts her hand on your shoulder. The tanker, the Headstream, has been held outside Wellspring for many cycles. The crew is tired and sympathetic to our cause. We'll just give them a nudge. Your ship will pose as an in distress trader trapped inside the debris field. When the Headstream is obliged to rescue, we will board and encourage the crew to take control. We? Kirk laughs. You think I wouldn't come? I'm key to our success. Kirk folds his arms across his chest. Will you do it? I will. I knew you would. I'm glad to have you in our course, Sleeper. Suddenly, Kirk puts two fingers in his mouth and blasts out a shrill whistle. A contractor quickly approaches with a large box, the front marked by screens and dials, and the back by loose cables. You will need this HasNav unit to navigate the debris field. Huzzah! He nods at the contractor. Jens here will install it in your ship. Consider it a gift from our cause to yours. He nods once more, and Jans passes by you, heading for the lift to the docking ring with your new module. I will provide the Headstream's coordinates. He moves away towards the contractors still working on the checkpoints, and I will wait for your word. You leave the pithead behind, your mind racing. You do not know how you have ended up in the middle of all this, but you know that it will be up to you to pilot your way out. Sleeper, Seraphim comes up the passage towards you. What's happening? I heard the pithead is being taken over by Kirk's guys. This, you realize, will take a lot of explaining. New local crew available. New contract on that. Yeah. What do we need? What do we need? We need 3 fuel. We've got it. The headstream is holding in the debris field on Syndic orders. Kirk believes it's the perfect target for mutiny. If a crew can get on board and inspire one. Tyler released. Cool. Let's, I guess, make some money while we're here. That's, oh, got nothing anymore. Nothing. Where can we make money? We can make money here. But I haven't got the skills for it. I can work the bar. Might as well. Locals seem to have taken to you and your manner, and you end up with a handful of tips and compliments. 16! Beautiful. Cutwater is a boisterous workers' bar filled with miners fresh from the pithead. They always need staff to fill in for those on shift. Good luck to me. Neutral. Bar shifts go by quickly in the Cutwater, the pace barely letting up all cycle. At least you score a handful of tips. Now we need... oh, well, this is where I buy the food. Wait, oh no! I could have had free food, but I don't have free food anymore. Boo! No free food. Alright, bugger it. We'll buy food then. See how we go. And full of tips. I'm gonna try it. I'm going for it. Yeah, make some money. Alright, let's go and do this. Okay, gotta have Kirk. He's got one of those, so we'll go for engineer. It's the other thing I'm lacking. Good old Blizzard. Good old Blissner. Blisterian. Blizzarino. The headstream looms large in the cockpit windows as it comes to a stop. I can't believe you talked me into this, Seraphim sighs. This is not a good plan. Convincing Seraphim to take Kirk out to this low-tech freighter wasn't exactly easy, but with the pithead on lockdown, there really weren't any other options. A voice crackles over Seraphim's terminal, loud enough to hear but quiet enough that you can't pick out what's being said. Stay silent. You risk the urge to ask. The tension in the cockpit is palpable, all of you aware that this ruse could fall apart any moment. Seraphim, you look behind you to see Kirk floating by the doorway. You keep him talking, alright? Seraphim flicks the comm switch and begins speaking to the low-tech ship, thanking them for responding to the distress signal, trying his best to play the part of a nervous trader suffering an engine failure in the debris field. Kirk jerks his head for you to follow him into the corridor, and you unclip from your seat and float out behind him. If it's okay with you, I'm going to play the captain on this one. His flat stare suggests he isn't asking for permission. Fine by me. Kirk nods. I appreciate it. Let me tell you how this is going to go. He starts moving down towards the airlock and you follow as he talks. The headstream has been holding here cycle after cycle while Wellspring tried to quash our little rebellion. He smiles at the idea. Now the blockade is in effect, well, they'll know they have to hold out for longer still, while the messages from low-tech operations get less and less frequent. He stops by the lockers, swapping his low-tech uniform for an old flight jacket. This is a ship full of tired, unhappy, underpaid and underfed workers. You both arrive at the airlock. We just have to nudge their anger in the right direction. There is a hiss as the airlock cycles. Low-tech are coming aboard. Kirk catches your eye and gives you a wink. The airlock doors scissor open, revealing a drained-looking low-tech captain flanked by security officers. Cold low-tech Captain Lambert. Christophe Lambert. Lambert, captain of the Headstream. He presents himself immediately, but with little enthusiasm. We have been in communication with your pilot and are docking as requested to provide support. He looks between you and Kirk, his eyes lingering on you a little too long. No doubt taking in the strange vinyl skin, dark glowing eyes and doll-like face of your frame. He directs his attention to Kirk. How fares your crew? You know what? I might grab his picture as well, just for the hell of it. quite sure what I want to do with the thumbnails, but I do feel like I want new thumbnails every day instead of using the same one over and over again. Thank you, Captain. You notice the immediate change in Kirk, his deflated posture and softer speech. We are surviving as best we can, but now that you've come to our rescue, he sighs and holds out an eager hand to Lambert. We are very grateful indeed. Lambert limply shakes Kirk's hand. Not to worry, the Lotic Syndicate takes its stewardship of Wellspring and the surrounding environment seriously. It is our duty to offer aid to traders and travellers alike. I'm afraid we don't have much to offer by way of supplies. Our stores have been depleted by our long posting here, but your crew is free to enter our ship and make use of its facilities while you make your repairs. Kirk continues playing the submissive captain, nodding enthusiastically and uttering a stream of thank yous. You feel like he's pushing it a little, though. Lambert only seems to be paying to the minimum of attention to him. The structure of that sentence is terrible. Suddenly he turns a sharp eye to you. Your pilot didn't mention you had a sleeper aboard. Stay silent. Kirk quickly responds, apologies. They are such a good worker and quiet too. We sometimes forget they're even there. Perhaps if your ship is in need of maintenance, you can borrow them for a few cycles? Lambert eyes you more brazenly now, taking Kirk's lead as permission to indulge his curiosity. Yes, his eyes trace a tear in the thick skin of your forearm. Perhaps it could be of use to us. Kirk smiles. I will send them to speak with your crew. I am sure they can direct the sleeper to appropriate tasks. Oh, they'd love that, Lambert jokes. They're a work-shy bunch, this lot. I'm sure they'd be eager for a slave. The word sets you on edge. Stay silent. We are happy to serve, Kirk bows. After all, we owe you our safety. Very good. Lambert seems suddenly bored or tired, or perhaps both. Tell your crew they are free to cross the docking tunnel then. He pauses, but remind them that no funny business will be tolerated. He smiles a sharp smile. No funny business. I have managed to attend to, Lambert turns. See you later, Captain. And with that, Lambert heads back down the tunnel, still flanked by his two silent security officers. Kirk waits until he is out of sight to turn to you. Good, he lets out a breath. Well held, sleeper. I thought from the look in your eye you were going to knock him out. He chuckles. I'd love to. I bet, Kirk stares down the corridor. But don't you worry, we're going to pay him back for all that very soon. Kirk squeezes your shoulder. Shall we go meet this crew? See what their opinions are on Lotic's administration? He smiles broadly. With a captain like that, I doubt they'll be very positive. Right, so we've got stress here. And possibly 2 crises. Everyone's got 5. I've got not much, to be honest. So engine room, navigation control, payload ops. Engine room. Sabotage engines. Nothing spreads discontent more than malfunctioning engines, but you'll have to be subtle with your sabotage. Criticize contracts. Engine room crews are always the worst paid. A little bit of contract discussion should spread discontent. Engineer support and headstream mutiny. And it isn't going to be an easy one. Alright. Debate Wellspring. The situation on Wellspring is untenable. You just need to get the nav text to realize that. Oh, I see. Okay, so I need to get 3... Right. So this is going to presumably do this. Also provide data. Okay. And then got payload ops. Same thing. Discuss the war. And tamper with payload. Right. So. Not great. Okay, that's plus me. And also plus me. So I guess we're starting here. And we're gonna test this. But first, an ad break. I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, let's get into it, motherfuckers. I've broken my neck apparently. Why? Why does it do that? There we go. Yeah, debate wellspring. I just want to see what... I mean, it does connect to that, but it also connects beyond here. Probably. I think this is going to be overall. Yeah, so that gave navigator support. And then this would too, I would imagine. Yeah, excellent. Now, we are limited by supplies though. Let's, oh, that's danger, so I should stick to the risky ones. Okay. Okay, this is just, it's just not worth, is it? No, I don't know. What else have we got here? Just, you know, we've got overwhelmed by these crises things before. Where can we put him? Here. Criticize contracts. Alright. I think that's all we need to do for this cycle. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna take it easy. And not risk anything stressing just yet. We can risk stress later, I suppose. Yay, 3s and 2s, huh? That's pretty shit house. Alright, back to here and we'll do the risky ones rather than the danger ones. Danger, Will Robinson. I don't know. I don't want to. You know, new way of doing things. We can do this one as well. I'm only gonna go for non-risks. Won't have enough time, will we? We're gonna have to... Well then... No, you know what, again... I keep gambling, basically. It's not the end of the world to rack up some stress. We'll take a few cycles to do this. We're about to have navigator support. The seeds are planted, and is this? Yeah, perfect. Alright, so that's 1 of 3. Perfect. They're done. They're done and they're off the map as well. Cool. Now, so I'm not positive on either of those or those, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just start working on engine room then. Positive. Oh, really? Oh, it's danger. I should have been doing this one. Mistakes were made. Hang on. Bastards who keep trying to ring me and then it doesn't save their number. Create new contact. Bear with me. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's just madness. The company trying to contact me. I need to talk to them, but They just ring me at the worst times, and then it doesn't, I don't know what happened there, it just went straight to voicemail. They don't leave a voicemail. Alright, so we've now got a crisis point. Where is it? Down here. Comms array. This is trouble. Alright, I guess we're trying to cut the comms then. Now we need to start being a bit riskier. That's just stress for me. It's not stress for the whole thing, which is good. Okay. What can we do with Kirk? Kirk unit! Kirk unit! Excellent. Alright, so while there's a crisis, every cycle we're going to be, I can't risk the ones, I really can't. Put some good dice, please. Not bad, not great. Just sort of not really good. Yeah, we're just gonna have to use the 6s here. Beautiful. That kills that. Back to working on the engine room, nerds. Use this one instead of the fucking dangerous one, you dickhead. Oh, fuck off. I'll take it, I suppose. Guess we need to do this then. Even though neutral does do low tick stress. We smashed it. Gonna risk it. Oh, fucking no. Perfect. I'll take it. I'll take that too. Alright, not using the ones. That should stay where it is because we haven't moved on to the next crisis yet. Oh, we got rid of the crisis, I mean. Supply is empty. Yep, everyone's going to get stressed now. So be it, Jedi. Can anyone do anything better than a 5? Alright, great. Now we've just got shithouse. I bet this will be neutral. Fuck you. Just get fucked. I guess I'll use a Kirk. Lucky. Alright, and we've just got these nerds to do now. And yeah, I can sort of... Guess we go here. We do it. We try it. And Bliss is now officially useless. And we'll do a 4 here. Yeah, well, good enough, I suppose. And unless he's got a... These will both end up being 1s, so... Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Refuge... Oh, I keep forgetting I've got... Oh, forgot about it. Alright, everyone's getting stressed now. Everyone's saying it's my fault. It's everyone's fault. Well, we'll just 3 6s I'll take. Magnificent. 4 6s actually. Wow. Game feeling good for us. Feeling sorry for us. Oh, just a neutral, please. Oh my god, why? 25% chance of that. Oh, you're so fucking stupid. After all of that, it's gonna go and do two 25% in a row. 3 in a row. I'm doing it 4 in a row. Let's go for it. 4 in a row. 4 25% in a row. Okay, that finished it. Nice. Kirk rushes into the bay you are crossing. It's all kicking off sleep up. A wild glee is in his eyes. Lambert's lost control. He guides you through the headstream, a ship you have become surprisingly familiar with over the past few cycles. Perhaps it is the influence of getting to know the crew and their complaints around Lambert and the Syndicate, but its twisting corridors, thick pipes and cold metal have taken on an oppressive feel cycle by cycle, hour by hour. Now, as the shouts of conflict echo down the corridor ahead, where a room glows with the warm light of the galley, you feel that oppressive pall being scraped away, replaced with some new and exciting quality. Enough! Lambert's shout echoes like a shot as you enter the crowded galley. From what you can tell, more than half the crew have crowded into this space and are clumped around, some perched on the side units. I order you to return to your stations! Lambert floats slightly above the crowd, his hands held up in a gesture of futile calming or nervous surrender. You see him glance over his shoulder, and tracing his view, you see security officers tensely gathered at the back of the room. Warn Kirk. You turn to Kirk, ready to indicate the mass security, but you are met with a wide smile that makes you pause. Just wait, Kirk winks, and you turn to see security moving through the crowd. If you will not retreat willingly, I will have no other choice than to use force. Lambert's voice breaks with anger. Disperse. You watch as the guards form up behind Lambert, and then one moves forward and grabs him, forcing his arm behind his back. The act is met with a raucous cheer from the assembled crew and a yelp from Lambert himself. He is forced through the crowd, who part and jeer, heading directly for the corridor from which you entered. When Lambert is close, Kirk nods to the security officer holding him, and they stop. Lambert looks up in confusion and stares directly into Kirk's grin. You are officially removed from duty as captain of the Headstream on the authority of the Wellspring Workers Alliance. Kirk's tone is direct and clear. This is done with the authority of a majority ballot of your crew. Workers Alliance? You have no authority. You're pirates. Lambert spits at Kirk. There will be consequences. Your face will be consequences. On that, we agree. Kirk nods to the security officers, and they wrench a struggling Lambert from the room. Kirk watches Lambert go, determination set in his heavy brow. What will happen to him? Lambert can enjoy the hospitality of his own brig. Kirk pats you on the back. We have a celebration to muster. The galley erupts in liberated joy, and soon drinks and food are passed around from a stash Lambert had been asking the quartermaster to keep back for his own use. You settle on a counter and look on as the crew celebrates. You watch as Kirk moves effortlessly through the room, giving and receiving thanks in equal measure. Despite his intimidating appearance, you see in him something softer coming to the surface, something reserved for those he has struggled alongside. Fresh allies are old friends to him. What did I see a tweet today? It was whoever coined the term. Think about it, it makes sense. After the celebrations have died down and the crew have retreated to make plans for supporting the blockade, holding out on what they have, Kirk approaches you. Not toasting the victory, he offers you a transparent bag of ship-brewed moonshine. To the crew of the Headstream, Kirk smiles. To our comrades. I think it's time we return to Wellspring. He looks off towards the last crew members leaving the room. We've done our job. Say the word. I'm just the pretend captain, Kirk smiles. That ship out there is yours to command, and everyone knows it. You suddenly notice how exhausted Kirk looks, his eyes dark and hooded. He looks down towards the scuffed floor. You did well here. He smiles weakly. We certainly stirred something up. He paused. I don't want to overthink it. Lambert is right. Retaliation will come. He looks around the room. I hope they will be ready when it does. He sighs a heavy sigh. Kirk takes a deep breath and lets it out slow. The struggle goes on. He pushes off from the counter and heads towards the docking bridge. You take a moment before you follow, your mind drifting to the crew and the struggle they have ahead. As you do, a small and perhaps unfair part of you thinks, well, that's life in the belt. Motherfuckers, life in the belt. Alright, cool. Can't complain. Done. Contract concluded. The cut thrums with tension. This steaming city and its brash inhabitants have quietened, not to silence, but to a low rumble of conversation. The blockade is holding, the syndicate is waning, and everywhere there are plans to be made. You and Seraphim float idly in Chasm Row, many stories deep in this a wound in Wellspring's side, waiting on Kirk, not far from the first place you met, a meeting Seraphim still has lingering bruises from. Kirk is inside somewhere, and like every other low-tech contractor, he is making plans. Even before you arrived back in Wellspring, he had hijacked the rig's transmitter to speak with his fellow conspirators and make arrangements for his arrival. Watching Kirk's plot unfold made you realize that, despite your involvement, in the end you are just a subsidiary part of this struggle, a chaotic outside actor with effect but no real influence. Now, waiting for Kirk's return, you feel a little solace in that. You aren't ready to be dragged into another struggle, not yet. You still have your freedom to win, and looking at Seraphim next to you, you know that he does too. Alright, we're on. Kirk comes out of a passage nearby, nodding to the two of you to follow. He leads you both into the Rhine Market passageways, this time not to the steaming market hall that lies beneath the deeper streets, but to a cramped room walled with pipes and rusted panels. Just a little longer, he nods to you both. Hold here. He exchanges a serious look with you before pushing off and gliding back out of the room. You watch Kirk go, your relationship having settled into a quiet and mutual respect. His eyes are on bigger things now, workers' councils and contract negotiations, and you know that. Perhaps one cycle ahead you will find a moment to drink together once again and discuss everything that has happened. For now, Kirk has other things on his mind. Seraphim settles again. You shoot him a look, but his focus is elsewhere. His eyes glazed over. You fold your arms and wait. Sarah? Tala answers so quietly that in the dim room you barely notice her. She shoots you a look and a smile as she enters. Thank you, she mouths silently, and then turns her attention to her brother. Tala, Seraphim says her name like a sigh, like an exhale. He is shaking his head, his eyes already shining with uncontrollable emotion. He rushes across the room, flying into Seraphim at speed. They embrace, softly spinning in the dust and dark, their fingers dug into each other's backs. They separate, a couple of pristine spheres of briny tears spinning away through the air as they do. You're safe, Seraphim nods, taking a breath. I'm safe, she smiles reassuringly, settling him. And in this settling, this gesture of care, you see a whole network of signs and secrets. Tala is the calm to Seraphim's storm, the big sister who eases his heart. She looks him up and down. You are so big, Sarah, she laughs at her own statement. You've grown up. She tries to make it sound approving rather than patronizing. You're just the same, sister, Seraphim shakes his head, calling me big but making me feel small. The moment the statement leaves his lips, you feel a chill in the room and you aren't sure if he meant it. Tala flinches a little, hurt but not wanting to show it. I came to find you, Tala tries again. I needed to find you. Seraphim looks torn, and you see in him something you have come to recognize, the slow and careful raising of his defenses. Why now? He looks away. It's been a long time, Tala. Mum and Dad finally decide they want me to come home? A ripple of emotion runs through Tala, one she can't hide. Sarah, after you left, they're gone, she sighs. I thought you would have... She struggles to find the words. It's been a long time. It has. Seraphim sets his face into a stern look of control, but you know he is raging inside. And in this moment you feel closer to him than you have felt in a while. Tala folds her arms, trying to regain a little control of the exchange. It's good to see you, Sarah. So good. So good. You know what is coming, and you see Seraphim brace for it too. But I can't leave with you. She looks pained. This isn't easy for her either. Seraphim can only nod, a dulling acceptance washing over him. I wanted to find you, and I have, and I can see you are strong and well, and... She shoots you a glance. You have your life here. The people here, the other contractors, they were the ones who found me, who have kept me going since I ended up here, desperate and alone. She smiles warmly. It's not that I owe them, it's that they are my family too. She gently places a hand on his shoulder. I know you understand this. She smiles at you. We all find our families out here. Seraphim smiles a rare smile, his eyes wet. We do, sister. He embraces her again. They separate and Tala turns her attention to you. I know you'll take care of my brother, Sleeper, she smiles. I saw it in your eyes when you came to the pithead. She approaches and puts a hand on your shoulder. I can see you are building something of value on that ship of yours. Thank you. She nods gently and takes her hand away. She folds her arms again, her sense of control returning. There is a wisdom and experience to Tala that brings a certain calm to you, and you feel that now. Will you two be staying here for a while, or... Tala looks between you and Seraphim. Seraphim cuts in before you can answer. Not long, he smiles. We have our own freedom to find. Tala nods. Just be aware you're free to pass the blockade, but after that, she sighs. Wellspring is going to be locked down for a little while, at least until Kirk can establish his council. Next time you come, she smiles proudly, this will be a very different place. Hearing Tala say this, you suddenly see the authority in her and realize that one of those council seats may well have her name on it. You look between the two of them and realize that they have years to catch up on, and they'd probably rather do that without you watching. You nod to them as about the room, a lilting conversation starting up the moment you leave. As you follow the twisting corridors back up to Chasm Row, you smile to yourself at the thought of Tala and Seraphine reunited at last. You hope this whole adventure will make Seraphine a little less moody, even though you know deep down it'll probably make him worse. Major drive completed! On your way to the rig, you pass a tired-looking Eugene. We're heading out, he sighs, because I'm not sure I've got another chit left to wager. How much did you lose? He squints at his fingers for a second, making calculations. Too much, he shrugs. Gonna strap myself in for a nap. He disappears into the berths. Later in the cycle, Seraphine quietly comes back to the rig. He immediately settles himself in the cockpit and starts running diagnostics on the engines. He looks up as you enter and shoots you a smile. Good to see you up here, Sleeper. I'm getting her ready to head out. Ready to go? Just say the word. He flicks a sequence of switches. Sleeper, Seraphine turns to face you. Thank you, he smiles. I appreciate you bringing us all the way out here. I won't forget it. Will Tala be okay? She's found a place here and I'm really happy for her. He looks away, out of the cockpit's windows at Wellspring. She always was the responsible one, and I was always the one running away. I guess some things never change. Some things never change, but some things do. Seraphine quietly watches the diagnostics complete, a subtle smile on his lips. One thing is for sure, we've been here too long. Seraphine meets your eye, and we've been seen by too many people. Wellspring may be far out of Utsobo territory, but I'm sure Lane will find a way to reach his nasty claws out here given enough time. Let's not give him the chance. Hey guys, Bliss's voice echoes up the passage into the cockpit. They lean in the door, looking between the two of you. Two contractors just dumped a load of fuel outside our ship. Said it was a gift. You and Seraphine look at each other. Gotta be Kirk. Seraphine gets up. It's either a thank you or his way of telling us to get going. Seraphine kicks off and glides out of the cockpit. Hey, so Bliss smiles. While you two have been busy, so have I. Been looking at the rig's drive and I reckon it's due an upgrade. We'll need engine components, quite a few, so keep an eye out. Bliss shrugs. Shipyards tend to be a good place to look. Shipyards, got it. Right, Bliss says. Better go help Seraphine with that fuel. As Bliss leaves the cockpit, you find yourself lost in thought, considering your next step while the icy expanse of Wellspring glitters below. Full fuel. You are free to leave Wellspring. You now have a HasNav unit installed and can freely travel through debris fields on the belt map. Fucking oath we can. Of course we can. Why wouldn't we? Okay, we're starving, so let's just buy some food, I suppose. Or not. Or not. Let's go to the next... Where are we headed now? We've got Greenbelt and the Scatter Yards. Holmes Rock, Flotsam, Fast Spindle. Hell's Gate. Can't really go to Darkside. Our Scatter Yards are there. Greenbelt. Which one's closer? Scatter... Well, we'll just do it in order, huh? Let's go Greenbelt. The Greenbelt. I need 18 fuel. Sure. Sure. Can I get to there? No. Can I get to here? Yeah, we'll go to Fast Spindle. And restock on stuff. The rig glides safely through the debris cloud, the cockpit empty apart from you and Seraphine. So Sleeper, I've been thinking. Seraphine gives you a sly look over his shoulder. I've been thinking I'm sick of running. Me too. I mean, even if you want to keep going the way we have been, we've run out of belt. Beyond Wellspring, it's mostly rocks and emaciated scavengers, and well, I'm a city boy at heart. But not only that, Seraphine meets your eyes, we've been building something here, Sleeper. The crew, the ship, he smiles. Hell, we just got this HasNav suite for free. He thumps the new unit on top of his flight's console. What I'm asking is, how do you feel about taking Lane on? Tell me more. You've seen what's happening in Wellspring, what Tala's doing. He shakes his head. Kirk is a fool, but he's onto something. Get on the inside, organize, undermine. That I can get on board with. I like the sound of that. I bet you do, Seraphine smiles. He's enjoying this. Just think about it, Sleeper. We find a way back onto Darkside quietly. We make some connections. We start something running. He turns back to his console. It'd be one hell of a thing. Utsobo are ruthless. The way they run Darkside, there's got to be plenty of people fed up with them, Seraphim shrugs. And they've gotten worse under Lane, worse since they pushed the other gangs out. You smile and shake your head at how fast Seraphim can bounce back when he wants to, and as you do, you can't help but consider his plan. Look, maybe it's crazy, but we need a safe harbour either way. I've got a connection in the scatter yards. He'll tuck us away, keep us quiet from everyone. You see Seraphim has his coin in his hand, and he's turning it over between his fingers as he speaks. If we want, maybe he can help us get into Darkside, but even if we don't, it's a good place to rest up and make a plan. He turns back to the controls to deal with a rapid beep from the new HasNav unit. The scatter yards, you've heard of them. They have a reputation as a fiercely independent set of shipyards, just starward of Darkside, a hiding place right under their Lane's nose. If you've got things to do elsewhere first, go ahead, but the moment we are back in the wash, Lane will come looking out for us. Will be looking out for us. Seraphim turns his focus back to piloting the ship. As you watch debris flip past the ship, you turn your focus to what's ahead. New drive available. Black screen. Credits. I saw it. Seraphim comes charging into the bunks. I actually saw it. He is wild-eyed, and his breath is ragged. Are you okay? Seraphim takes a moment to catch his breath, suddenly aware of how frantic he sounds. He squints at you. Have you noticed how supplies have been going missing every so often when we travel? I have. You suddenly recall the mysterious mess that was left behind in supply storage. Seraphim sees the flicker of recognition in your eyes. So, after it happened a couple of times, I decided to keep an eye on our supply store. Seraphim lowers his voice. You know, check it from time to time. And just this cycle, I drifted down there, really quiet. He leans in, and whoosh, something flew past me. He shakes his head. Knocked me right into the wall. Did you get a look at it? Seraphim sighs. It didn't hang around, but it was definitely some kind of creature. Is there really a creature loose on the ship? You look around the berth, suddenly aware that something could be hiding nearby, tucked into the vents, perhaps. We know this thing like supplies, right? Seraphim is also glancing around for hiding places. So we lock them down tighter, keep it out, that way it'll get desperate. And then Seraphim raises a finger, it'll make a mistake, like trying to eat one of us? Are you mad? What are you talking about? Bliss leans in from the corridor. I can hear you all the way in the workshop. There's a creature in the ship. Bliss looks between the two of you with a raised eyebrow. A creature? Are you sure? It's something small and dark, something fast. Seraphim looks at Bliss. We are going to lock up the supplies to drive it out. It's a cat. I'm calling it now. And it's a cat, because there's a cat on the title screen. Bliss looks at Seraphim. If it's an animal, we don't want to make it any more scared and desperate than it already is. How about we lock up the supplies, but leave some out in a special place. Try to bait it. And then grab it, Seraphim mimes the act. No, Bliss looks between the two of you. We show it there's nothing to fear. We tame it. It didn't seem very tameable, Seraphim rubs his sore ribs. Plus, we've already wasted enough supplies on this thing. You want to give it more? Seraphim turns to you. What do you think, Sleeper? You look between the two of them, still processing the strange situation you find yourselves in. Let's try to tame it. Seraphim sighs. What a waste. Alright, Bliss nods. You'll have to come down to the supply store every few cycles and put out some more food. That way it won't get desperate and do anything dangerous. And I'll lock the supplies up tight. Seraphim folds his arm. It won't get into them anymore. The plan set, Bliss and Seraphim leave the berth, heading in separate directions. You watch them go. It seems your ship has a stowaway. The question is, how will you deal with it? How will you deal with anything? Get the spores. So we've got to find the stowaway. And recon Darkside, and that's at the scatter yards as well. Not where we're headed just yet. I want one of these. Yeah, re-roll one lowest dice, two lowest dice. That's better. This would be 3 random. No, I don't want 3 random dice. Yes, it doesn't matter, actually. Now that I think about it. Yeah, this would be better. There's 3 random dice. I mean, if I've got 4s and 5s, great. Otherwise... No dice damage on push reroll. Interesting. Get the spores from the green belt. Now, are we back to 3 or is it still 3? Excellent. Here's where we've got rig supply store. Haven't got any supplies. This is a negative. Why would I want... On the Starboard, every few cycles you could leave supplies out for the stowaway until it's ready to reveal itself. Yeah, alright. Well, I want to do that. Let's go source supplies. What was the geo here? We need food, desperately. Hello? There we go. And the best place to work is here, I think. Let's go. Spend 3 days here, see how much supplies we get. Fucking negative, huh? You do me like this? Why you do me like this? Oh, nice. I'll take it. Make it legal. Alright. Done. Done. Okay. End cycle. See if we get some supplies. We got 1 supplies. Sleeper, you got a moment? Eugene finds you in your berth. I have news about the Aphelion. Eugene has a seriousness you rarely see etched into the hard lines of his face. You remember the ship he is talking about, the Aphelion Path, the last surviving interstellar fraction ship in the Helion system, if his stories are to be believed. I've been putting out some feelers for that little lost ship, and something came back. He glances around as if the information might leak to some unwanted source. I've been working with a contact of mine, a signal chaser working out of the Hollow. He's got some promising data. He followed the trails from the hidden wreck we found, calculated the possible vectors. If this thing is still in the Helion system, it's in the shoals. He folds his arms across his broad chest, watching your reaction. Do you trust this signal chaser? He sucks in a breath. As much as I trust anyone. I haven't told him what exactly we were tracking, just gave him the signature. There's a chance he hasn't figured it out, but... The problem is the signal chaser's gone quiet. Nothing for a few cycles now. Eugene shakes his head. Maybe he got wise to the value of what he found, but I doubt it. Maybe he just took a holiday. Eugene grins at his own joke. I reckon we pay a visit to the Hollow, turn up my ghosted contact, see how viable the data looks. It looks good, we go out and get the ship. It doesn't? He shrugs. No harm, no foul. What about Vesna? What about her? Eugene shrugs. Maybe she's involved. I doubt it, but... He holds up a finger. Could she come sniffing around after the fact when a whiff of the data gets out? He sighs. That's what she does. That's all I've got, Eugene winks. Keep it between us, alright? We'll let the others know when we hit the Hollow. But remember what's at stake here, Sleeper. An interstellar ship, a ticket out of Helion. He pats you hard on the shoulder. It'll be worth it. With that, Eugene drifts out of the bunks whistling. New drive available. New drives available. Find the fraction ship. The Hollow. No, we're doing Nimber first. We're doing Nimber. Alright, we got a supply. So, we can now give a supply. And it resets the clock. So I should have just waited for day 3, really. Shit! Alright. If I'd known that, then I would have. But I didn't know that. So I didn't. We make money. That's what we're here for. Give me the money. Give me all the monies. Give me your money, or I'll lose my fucking mind. Boo. Boo. Alright, so boo it. Jedi. So be it, Jedi. We continue. Give me the money. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Alright, next cycle. Next cycle. I wonder if it only takes one off the creature thing. Alright, anyway, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when it gets to 3. Look at these rubbish. Why can't I do a push in here? I demand to know why. I want to redo all of this. Take it. I'll take it. Fine. I will take that as well. Buy some kelp cakes. And one more cycle. And then we're headed off to the green belt. The oldie green belt. We'll let the thing move on one further thing. Alright, so I think we buy some supplies while we're here and some fuel. Full fuel, full supplies, done. Quickly make some money for this cycle and head to the green belt. Alright. Yeah. Yes. Chance to get back to 1,000. Didn't make it. Didn't take the chance. Alright, spores for Nimba. No, that's not it. This is it. Irradiated zone. So I have to go via here? I guess so. How much do I need now? I need 7, so I'm gonna have to find one fuel here, which is this, is it not? Oh man, not having an endurer is bad. It's bad! Hang on a second. What's going on with this? Yeah, alright, so let's see what one supply does. It resets the whole clock. Perfect. So we do that every 3 cycles as well, if we remember. Source supplies or scavenge fuel. Let's scavenge fuel. Isn't there somewhere on here we can make money? Is there really not somewhere on here we can make money? Data. Is there actually no point? Well, I mean, I've got to use my dice on something, surely. Ah, that's how you get Solheim data. Do I want to risk... What is this? Oh yeah, it's neutral at worst anyway. Oh shit, that does a lot of energy. And there's no way of getting energy back? I'd have to use supplies. There's no point staying here. I should have done this. Alright, we're gonna have to use the cycle. Fuck. And hope we get fuel. This place is not worth staying at all. I should have just immediately... Well, I didn't have the fuel, did I? Hey, I got fuel. That's good to know. Back to supplies. We're 1 on the clock. Let's just get out of here. Or do we want to... The fucking insect trying to attack me. God dang it. Fuck off. We're starving. We've got to go. Wait, no. Let's use a supply. That's good. That's good. Let's see if we can't just quickly do some of this. Why not? And yes, that's what I thought was going to happen. And don't want to risk it. Right, we're out of here. We're out of here. Place is a shithole. Green belt it is. New location. Sleeper. You hear Bliss's voice hiss as you pass through the rig's central corridor. You have to come see this. You follow their voice and find them floating outside the supply store, looking in. Bliss holds a finger to their lips and nods inside quietly. She's eating. You look inside. The stray, your troublesome stowaway. Oh, it's a cat. What a surprise. Now we need a picture of the cat. The kitty. Get rid of the kitty. You look inside and see a cat floating just inside, paddling at a food pouch. The stray barely acknowledges your and Bliss's presence, instead angles its body to catch the droplets of liquid that are released from the transparent packet. Looks like we found our stowaway. Bliss smiles at you. Hey there, girl. Bliss whispers at the stray, beckoning. They hold up their hands so the cat can see them. Not here to take those rations away, alright? You both watch as the stray suddenly kicks away, twisting melodically through the air and gliding past you both out of the supply store. It catches one of the corridor's ribs, swinging itself to the wall where it perches and watches Bliss with big eyes. The comfort of its movement in zero-G is striking, and you realize you have never seen an animal navigate in microgravity before. You hear a sound and turn to find Seraphim arriving from the direction of the engine room. He stops dead in his tracks against the wall, staring at the stray. The hell is that? Seraphim hisses his question at you both. It's a cat. What's a cat? Seraphim says the word strangely. Careful there. Bliss holds up a hand to Seraphim. Don't scare her. So that's a cat. Seraphim is watching the stray carefully, either fascinated or scared. It's hard to tell. I thought it would be bigger. That is a fairly small one. How big do they grow? Seraphim turns to you and a look of confusion flashes across his face. Wait, where have you seen a cat? The question makes you pause. Where have you seen a cat? Not in the belt, not in zero-G. You close your eyes and bring to mind the faint image of a cat stretching in the sun. Somewhere warm, somewhere with weight, with gravity. You touch the fur of its back and it reacts, sliding against your hand. Careful, Seraphim's hiss warning brings you back. Bliss is reaching out to the stray. Shh, you'll scare her. Bliss makes a tutting sound. We had cats back on the eye, but they were in spin gravity there. The stray's big eyes watch Bliss's hand as it approaches. Then they touch the top of her head. The stray does not move, does not react. Look at her leg, Bliss nods to the sleeve on the cat. She's been hurt before and taken care of. She's really scared. You see the cat is gently trembling with Bliss's touch, but slowly she settles and angles her head for Bliss to scratch her ear. The movement brings back the mysterious memory. What is its origin? Focusing on it makes your skin tremble, a shiver running up your arms. It's been breaking into our supplies. Seraphim has his arms folded and is looking at Bliss. Now we've caught it, we should let it out. Look at her, she's not going to do that again. Bliss's eyes meet the stray's. You aren't going to do that as long as we feed you, right? That may be true, but we can't risk it happening again. What if we'd been on a contract? Seraphim gives Bliss a reproachful look. We can't keep it. Bliss shakes their head. She's a stray. She needs a home. Right, Sleeper? Bliss looks at you. We're keeping her. I want the kitty. Bliss smiles widely, unable to contain their excitement. You won't regret it. They look at Seraphim. Plus, the rig is already full of strays as it is. I guess it is, Seraphim concedes. You have to feed her though, Sleeper. She's your responsibility. He eyes the stray. I never thought a cat could eat so much. Seraphim's right. Looks like you'll need to keep feeding the stray every few cycles if you want her to stick around. This is going to be expensive. Trust me, cats are worth it. Seraphim reaches out sheepishly towards the stray. As he does, the cat bats playfully at his hand and he pulls it away. If you say so, he sighs. I'm not really used to animals. You watch as Bliss tries to get Seraphim to pet the stray properly, guiding his hand to its ears for a scratch and explaining how to approach her. As you do, the memory of that other cat runs through your mind. It feels like a raw wound, one that, if you touch it, will only bring pain. But you can't help but pick at it, knowing that it might contain some distant part of you. Minor drive completed. Achievement unlocked. Made a home for the stowaway. Fucking oath I did. Fucking oath I did. Alright, what do we got here on the Greenbelt? We've got Arrival Tower, Greenbelt Depot, and Depot Storage. What do we need? What do we need, Captain? What do we need? Anything else here? No. Let's see what's here. Retrieve spores. I guess I'll pay the handling fee. Go on then. And now I need to return to Far a Spindle. None of which look in great condition. Bastards. Absolute bastards. Alright, so this is where we get fuel and supplies. Gotcha. And so, is there a clock on the cat? Alright. I might just feed the cat when we arrive in a new place. Source supplies, yeah. Alright, what do we got here? We've got talk your way in. The Greenbelt is, well, hang on. Greenbelt access. Greenbank now. Doesn't like visitors, and rising tensions in the belt have made it even less welcoming. They won't let you in without a reason. Talk your way in. The Greenbelt is locked down thanks to fears around Yutsobo's influence. Perhaps you can convince them you have a reason to head inside. Fabricate permission. You don't have permission to get inside. Greenbelt, but that won't stop you putting together a fake pass or document asking that you are let in. Well, let's we can do this one with our sixes. And this one with our fours. Well, our four. Come on, be positive, please. You bastard. You absolute bastard. Boom. Done. Greenbelt buzzes with focused activity. The passages full at shift change, then empty once the work begins. It's a place that runs on its own schedule, but comfortably so. That comfort brought by being one of the largest food producers in the belt. There's always work in these fields, protected by a thick skin of transparent layers, and you can see why the humble life it offers has captured more than a few of the belt's itinerant workers. Sleeper, the voice, soft but forceful, takes you by surprise. Supplies! Supplies, motherfucker! Archie, Greenbelt Administrator. As you turn, you are met with a delicate face wearing a confused expression. Hold on, new person, new screenshot. Save, beautiful. Apologies, I mistook you for someone else. She covers her embarrassment with a smile. I'm Archie. What brings you to Greenbelt, friend? Just looking. Archie nods gently. Well, we aren't usually open to spectators, but I'll make an exception. She clasps her hand together. Come with me. Archie leads you through a series of doors, gliding down into passages cut into the rock, then up, following pipes into metal passages that cross the fields themselves. She stops on a bridge overlooking the soft curve of farmland that makes up one of the asteroid's two biospheres. Below, leaves flap in zero-G, waves spreading out across a sea of green. Sea of green. The varieties we farm here are specifically selected and customized for microgravity. She puts her hands on the railing at the edge of the bridge. We feed them from beneath, irrigating and nourishing them through the very medium they grow within. The light of Helion helps us with this, of course. Archie squints through the transparent roof at the distant, pale sun. Where are these plants from? Solheim left us many things, including a few seed vaults filled with their own engineered microgravity crops. She turns to face you. Then there are the stacks found across the belt, self-contained microfarms. We have been able to propagate crops from them in some cases. But how about you? Arky's sharp eyes take in your expression. Could you contribute to such a place, a green and growing strip in the grey belt? I would like to. Arcus smiles. Feel free to take a shift below anytime you wish. I will tell others to expect you. The plants, they have a kind of peace, an eternal quality that makes them seem less fragile than they are. Arky sighs. This place, like any other in the belt, has its pressures. It is for me to navigate them. She looks away, frowning at something in the distance. I must attend to these pressures. Excuse me. I am glad our paths crossed. She bows a shallow bow. I hope they do again. And with that, Arky leaves you to look over the sea of gently waving green, an impossibly beautiful, impossibly fragile glass case of growing things. New location. So we've got the wheat sheaf, workers bar, where I can buy a cheap food. Real cheap. Busy farming co-op. Let's try our one then. Exhausted. Great. Great. Alright. Let's buy some food. Nice. Gotta love that cheap food. What am I doing? What was this? Fuel and supplies. Okay, cool. Where's my ship? Oh, there it is. Alright, next cycle. Let's stay here for 3 cycles and then head back. Haven't filled our supplies, so we continue. And we just do some, so among the Greenbelt is a close-knit community. You'll have to prove your reliability before Arky will open up. Farm shift. Greenbelt rewards his workers with food and board, and most seem happy to exchange their work for a simple life. Was this going to give me food, possibly? It does give me food. I didn't need to buy food. Yeah, this is a good place to make money. Oh, it doesn't make money. Wait, I don't get money? It's just energy. It doesn't make money. Oh, I'll have to try this other one then. I'm basically wasting time then. It's just giving me energy. That's interesting. What was that noise? No, hang on. Let's try this one and see what it gives me. Energy as well. Exactly the same. Well, I kind of want to do this though, I suppose. That's the reason we're doing that. And we should be good. Excellent. You have a natural ability with the plants. Arky's voice makes you look up from your work. It is, well, your work. It is rare. You expect Arky's typical warm smile, but she looks pale, distracted. I have something I want to discuss with you. She leads you out of the biome into the damp, rock-cut tunnels that run just under the surface, all across the Greenbelt. I'm sure you've noticed the section of our fields that has been lying fallow, Arky says as she glides through the low tunnel. It's been like this since I took over as administrator here. My predecessor was the one to fail it, and confidence was lost in its vision. She shakes her head, but we have been unable to recover it. No matter the crop, the preparations, nothing will take. Arky leads you through a set of double doors and then up into the second biosphere. Immediately you feel a difference. The air is dry and a thin choking dust fills the space. Arky puts out a hand and rubs the dust between her fingers. With its output halved, Greenbelt is under threat, she sighs. Those who wish to control this place are circling. We cannot lose our independence. But I wasn't always in the belt, Archie stares out at the dry landscape. I was born on a moon, Ember's Step, a failed experiment in terraforming from before the collapse. We survived by cultivating the dust. I came here, like many, in the shadow of the war, my ship lost. Archie pauses and takes a moment, the loss still fresh in her mind. What does this phone want? Yeah, exactly. But it held the key, Archie looks to you, and perhaps holds it still. She wipes the dust from her fingers. Step silk, a plant that thrives in the dry and the dust, a plant that might thrive here. I have seen your ship, and you have shown me you're to be trusted. I want you to go to the remains of my own, the wind's long shadow, and try to recover anything we might use. A plant, a husk, a seed, anything. It's a desperate step, she frowns and looks away. Where is the ship? The wind's long shadow lies wrecked beyond the sunward edge of the belt, beyond Helion Gate. Archie pauses. I do not know what remains. My crew and I were lucky to escape. Greenbelt has reserves of cryo for moments like these. We will pay you for the retrieval, of course, depending on what you are able to retrieve. Archie sighs. This is our final recourse. I hope I will not be judged as harshly as my predecessor. Come, Archie turns. Let us go back to where the green things grow. She smiles. It is a better place to continue the future together. And Archie leads you away from the barren biosphere, the doors scissoring shut behind you. New contract on map. New drive available. Alright, we've got an ad starting soon, so I'm going to take a break. Be back in 3 to 5. We're halfway there. Oh, broke my neck sitting on a chair. Beautiful. Alright, so we have a new help Archie. Alright, where's that? Doesn't tell me. Yeah, it's at Helios Gate, which we have to go via, which is good, so there'll be something to do when we're there. But first, well, that'll be next. Yeah, that'll be next. So, we could do one more cycle. That's it, I'm done here? I can't do anything else? I could do work here, apparently. No? Nope. Anyway, we need to fill fuel. There we go. We're good to go. Let's put this on to cryo for now. And back to this one. Helion Sargate. Alright, and then if I'm in a new place, I feed the cat. Oh no, but I need... Alright, I'm not feeding the cat. And no, I need full supplies for this. Nope. Nope. It's a nope. It's a nope ski. Recover husk 100 cryo per husk. Don't have enough fuel. That's fun. Scavenge fuel. This is bad. This is bad. This is good. This is good. Let's put this on fuel. Alright, so I need him for that. I'm gonna go Junie for once. I need that. I don't actually need the mechanic skill. I have the mechanic skill, so. The wind's long shadow floats, broken open, at the sunward edge of the belt. One of the refugee ships that made the fraught journey out to the belt from the inner system before the war truly took hold. The wind's long shadow is a monument now, and a warning to any other vessel that might stray somewhere. Excuse me, I'm coughing. Drink some water. Oh, not good. Hang on. I'll be back. Alright, I don't think I'm better, but anyway. Are you telling me that that's where we're going? Seed hunting? Eugene shakes his head. Archie's in more trouble than we thought. It's hard to imagine this cold, dead place might hold some key to the future of a settlement as verdant as Greenbelt, but that is why you are here. Steppe silk husks, that's what Archie said, the crop she brought from her home, carried out with the refugees. If there's anything left, it'll be your job to continue his journey from this place. It is no salvage job, Sleeper. Seraphim gets up from his cockpit seat. You need to be delicate. The more of those things we can get out, the more Archie will pay. Not to be totally mercenary, Seraphim winks at you. You look out at the wreck, shrouded in debris, delicate. Right, time to put that to the test. Right, so we have crop processing, broken dust house, storage vault, reroll 3 random dice. Crop processing. So we've got blue. None of these are great. Bays are leaking. Oh, that's not good. Storage vault. Container hunt. There has to be a container in the storage vault that has some step silk inside. The trick is finding it. So we've actually got plus for 2 things here. That's fine. And plus for here as well. That's good. Step silk dig. Digging through the remains of the old Dut house is an act of hope. Can anything have survived this? Fragile husk. The step silk husks in dust are easily exposed. One wrong move and they'll be destroyed forever. We do have a plus at least. Okay. So, I think we start with this one, storage vault. Doesn't seem to matter which one we do. Oh, plus 3. That's not bad. Okay. Grab a 4 here, which will be a 5. Beautiful. And that was neutral. Good lord. Good lord. I'm gonna re-roll. Try and get something good. Excellent. This will do for, I suppose. Do think I should save the... No, that one's good. The 6s for here. That does 2. That's not great. Alright, in this other one we're doing here, have we got any blues? Useful blues? No, of course not. So Eugene's gonna be completely useless, except for that. Alright, well we'll do them over here. You've got a 4, let's do it. Thank you. It's fantastic. Oh, neutral does depressurization as well. That's bad, man. That's bad. Do we do this 3? Of course we do. Why didn't I do this 3? Boom. So did we get some stuff? We got 4. 4 packed spores and 1 husk. Well, there you go. First cycle, not too bad. Not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, but we can definitely see it from here. 2 6s on the bottom. Ah, beautiful. Keep working on this one, I guess. Definitely want a 6. Definitely want no. Oh. All right. Okay, we can get this 6 here. All right, what's next? Fucking nothing's next. What do you think's next? Absolutely nothing. So Journey's now completely useless, is what you're telling me. I guess we just do my 5s first. They are what's next. It's not great. Start losing. That's alright. That's alright, I'll take it. And guess we'll just have to... This is a bad idea, really. You're just gonna do me like that, huh? Just straight up bad idea, don't do it. Alright, well then I'll do it. I'll take the risk. Right. Fuck your bad idea. I have to try. Oh, why? It's 25%. How is this happening? That should be 1 in 4. Fuck this game. It very definitely is not 1 in 4. Absolute fucking lies, man. Absolute fucking lies. Alright, I'm just gonna guarantee this one. Boom. Done. We now got 2 step silks. Oh, these are the spores I'm taking to the other guy. Right. I understand. Fine, just fine. Alright, so these 2 5s will be good. Nice. Nice. And you, come on, positive. Come on, positive. Come on, positive. You suck. Dusthouse Blues retrieved all 3 step cells from the wreck. Okay. Achievement unlocked. If the wreck wasn't dead before, now scoured of the final husks of life, it surely must be. As Seraphim starts up the drive, you give the wind's long shadow a final look in its resting place. It's hard to feel sad about another chunk of scrap orbiting in a system that is made of nothing but the scrap of past regimes. But the people who lived on and built this ship, those people were worth a moment of memory. You think of them as you prepare to leave and hope that they, like Archie, have been carried on to new lives beyond the desperation of escape. And those that didn't get out, you hope your passing through this place did not disturb them. Get out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay. Alright, so we now very definitely don't have enough fuel to get to. So, I want to go back to Archie or finish this other quest first. This is 4 away, and this is 7 away. I think we're going back to Nimba first. So, we need 4. We need 4, and it's gonna be tricky. That's all we needed. Alright, and I think we've determined that there's really no point. In fact, okay, now I can feed the cat. You put supplies into the special feeder Bliss set up. The stray waits until you're outside the room to come eat. Come on, kitty. Boom. Nimba, I have your spores, motherfucker. You bring the spore crates to the kitchen's loading dock. Some of the volunteers come out to say hi. You remembered us. Nimba appears at the loading dock, slate in hand, as you load the crates into the back of the kitchen. I'm a little surprised. You look at the chef. He looks tired, though his sharp eyes haven't dulled in the time between your meetings. Happy to surprise you. Well, I'm not that surprised, he smiles, but it's still a pleasant feeling. Nimba glides over to a crate to take a look. He squints at the crumbled corners and bent lids. Not in great condition, though. How long have these been bouncing around in your hold? They were like that already. Now that I can believe. They didn't bother to bring them to the right station after all. I have a place picked out in one of the bays to cultivate these. Warm, damp, near the air recyclers. He pushes one of the crates gently into the kitchen. Shouldn't take long before we have mushrooms to cook. You follow Nimba into the kitchen, remembering your shifts working here. They were long, but the company was good, and as with all things, the difficulties have faded with time, leaving a golden sheen behind. Nimba seems to catch the way you're looking at the kitchen. Much the same as before, I'm sure you noticed, but twice as oversubscribed. Each cycle, more refugees come out of the inner system. The war isn't going anywhere. Nimba pushes the crate into a storage rack and pulls netting across it. They disperse across the belt, of course, but many don't make it much further than the overhang, especially if they can't work. It's not just food either. We need blankets, housing. Nimba suddenly pauses and shoots a look over his glasses. Tell me, how was Greenbelt? Green? Helpful. Nimba raises an eyebrow. I heard it was organized as a cooperative, all the workers sharing in the trade of their goods, but no chits exchanged, only resources for the colony. Nemba watches you closely. I had to pay Cryo for the spores. Well, they can't all be saints, he smiles. I'm sorry for that. I mention it because, well, it might be the kind of place to offer aid to the people here, Nemba sighs. I regret being mercenary, but waiting for benevolent helpers doesn't work. Apart from present exceptions, of course. I can speak to them. It's worth a shot. Nemba looks you in the eye, but you need their trust first. Earn that, then talk. You have the feeling Nemba was waiting for your suggestion. Here, he takes one of the crates of spores. I'm sure they could use these. Take them as a gift. He pushes it to you. But don't begin with the spores. Begin by understanding what they need from you. Trust me, you have a feeling Nemba is good at getting what he wants. Meanwhile, I have meal prep to begin. He takes a deep breath. Thank you for the spores, really. I will keep asking for help. You have to forgive me for that, he smiles. It doesn't mean I don't understand what you are giving. Now get out of here! Nemba waves you away with your crate of packed spores, his expression somehow both withering and encouraging at the same time. Minor drive completed. No, I think I'm going to save up for a 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to save up for a 4. I don't think re-rolling another dice is particularly useful. Like, honestly, none of this is particularly useful. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I would re-roll the 2 lowest dice anyway, so I guess having 3 is better. Fine, just fine. Where are we? So, new drive, apparently. Connect Nemba and Arky. Alright, I'm helping Arky. That's where we're doing. Where was the fraction ship? The Hollow. I don't know where the Hollow is. That's the Hollow. Impassable hazard. So yeah, to get to Scuddy Yards, I have to go via the Hollow. Gotcha. Tricky, huh? Very tricky. Alright, well, while we're here, what do I need? Supplies. Always supplies. They're more expensive. Don't need food, so it's just, let's get some working done. Let's make some money. Into it. Like, it'd be worth, given that, it would be worth it, maybe. Going to plus because this is our main money source. We'll see. I won't remember. Dude. Beautiful. Made a bit of the old cash. Bit of the old cash-a-roni. Here's something I haven't figured out. The raw scrap makes processed scrap ready for the exchange, but I've never found anywhere to do anything with that. I mean, you get money here as well, don't you? Well, this could be a mistake, I'm not sure. I mean, it's just... Oh, that's for fixing the dice. Don't know what that's for. Engine components. I don't know what any of this shit's for. We're okay for now. Money or whatever. We're back over 1,000. Fuck yeah. There you go. So I don't know what that other stuff's for. I don't know why it jumped around like that. Do some more money making. Down in the brown hill. Excellent. Then we sleep, perchance to dream. Weak engine. Increase the ship's range. The engine will need an overhaul to squeeze more power out of the turbines. 8 engine components. I've only got 5. Oh, well now I know where I need to do that. That's the cat. This is unavailable because everything has to be broken apparently. Yes, why yes, indeed. Alright, end cycle. Where do you get engine components from? That's real interesting. Let's go, making the money. Nice. I'll take it. And one more cycle. Alright, so finish off our day. Like so. Boo. Boo, I tell you. That'll do. That'll do. Alright, so we have got full on supplies, but we need fuel. Beautiful. Wait, just double check there isn't anywhere here to get scrap components. Good ones can be picked out. That's not what I need. I need engine components. Engine components, motherfuckers! Alright. Back to Hell Ion Gate. And I need 7, don't I? Yep. Oh, look at the die. Oh, that's the worst thing I've seen in history of bad. The history of bad. Scrap and data. So that's where we get data scraping stuff from. I mean, this stuff, Solheim data. Don't need supplies. I need fuel, but I've been absolutely murdered here. I'll have to try it. I think I just end the cycle and try to get better die because this is ridiculous. I mean, okay. Did I not have this on fuel? I'm an idiot. I could have had fuel. He's an idiot. Good. Thank fuck. Alright. Green belt. Let's go. You bring the steppe silk husks you gathered from the wind's long shadow to Aki, and she is as pleased as you would expect. You meet her on the bridge overlooking green fields, the green belt workers quietly toiling below, while the air recycler's wind gently rustles the leaves of the crops. Sleeper, Aki holds the husk to her chest. Thank you. These are a new beginning for us. Aki pauses, knitting her brow. How was she, the wind's long shadow? She must have been beautiful once. Aki smiles. She truly was. She looks down until they killed her. Aki sighs and looks out at the green belt fields. Everyone must die in the end. The belt makes wrecks of us all. She looks back to you. But what have you brought me? But what you have brought me? This is new life. Give us time. We will need to clear and reseed the other biosphere. Aki bows. I hope you will return to us when the work is done. He presses a handful of chits into your hand. Thank you. She meets your eye. You watch her carry the husks gently away, glowing with the promise of fresh growth. New location. Wait for Aki to seed the steppe silk. Connect member and Aki. Earn Aki's trust. Weaver's Fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles. Right, so I can't earn her trust. Can't. I'm gonna have to buy a meal. I've got plenty of money. Buy fuel and supplies. Supplies, motherfucker. No point sticking around. There's no way of making any money. So, we need to now go... Hollows on that way. We're waiting on that. On our way to the yard. Both the scatter yards. So, scatter yards and the hollow. Well, the hollow is next. How much does it take? 8. Well, time to find out what's there. Sleeper, Eugene takes you aside. I'm going to head into the radius markers to find my contact, the one with the data on the Aphelion. You should come with me. 2 sets of eyes are better than 1. Let's go. As you say, Captain. Eugene grins and heads for the airlock. You watch him go, unsure what his swagger might hide, but you've come this far with him, maybe it's time to see where it all leads. New location discovered. We are on this. We do this one. Find Eugene's contact. Alright, what do we got here? All sorts of nothing. The hollow core. Hollow Heart. The hollow with its brash scrap dealers is intimidating to newcomers, but spend a little time here, you'll find your place. Explore the axis or intercept signals. Right, and then we've got radius markets. Ghosted contact. Eugene's signal chaser went dark. It'll take some time to work out why and where he's hiding. We can ask around or watch the markets. Let's do one of these. In case it does different things. So that's +2, and this one is also +2. So it doesn't really matter. Well, this one I've got proficiency in. Boo. Fuck off. Beautiful. I'll take it. The radius markets surround you and Eugene. Much of the architecture of the Starward Belt is built on a Solheim structures tend towards cardinal directions, towards respecting gravity in a place where it has little effect. But the radius markets have no such bias and no singular direction. Instead, the stalls and shops built from scrap frame and hull plate project outwards from all 8 of the surrounding walls. The effect is overwhelming, with activity and interest in all directions. Between the windows that open to faint stars, scrap dealers, street food vendors, data fencers and tailors compete for the attention of the stream of customers drifting around you. Sleeper, Eugene draws close to get your attention, his voice barely raised. Take a look. He jerks his head, motioning down the market. You refocus your attention, your eyes drawn to a group of dark-suited spacers with shaved heads. 5 of them are gathered around another retreating figure. The spacers are noticeably distinct from the rest of the crowd, their tight and complex suits kept in pristine condition and all in the same design, a rarity amidst the Starward Belt's ramshackle fashions. You see one of them is gesticulating aggressively, chopping the air with his hand. Eugene nudges you again. Not the singers. You glance at him, unsure of that term. The one they are threatening. Eugene starts to move forward, his eyes fixed on the group. That's my contact. You turn back to the group, the singers as Eugene called them, and see they are rounding on the figure now. Their body language is clear. This is about to come to blows. Eugene clearly sees the shift too. Before you can say a word, he is off, gliding hard enough through the crowds towards them. You give chase without thinking, kicking off the nearest strut and angling yourself through the central void of the market behind Eugene. Eugene doesn't stop. He barrels straight into the singers, sending two of them spinning into the crowd to a chorus of shouts and protests. Calm the situation. Check past. You hold out your arms and try to talk them down, calling to Eugene. The singers gather around you, but they don't start throwing punches yet. One of them comes forward, meeting your eye. You hear one of the others call him Peter. Their leader, perhaps. Peter, leader of Ember Song's refugees. Take a picture of him. Save it to the thing here. Their leader, perhaps. This idiot with you? Peter nods towards Eugene, who is resting with one of the crew. He whistles and the singer disengages and moves away. Yes? Can you ask him to calm down, please? You see Peter's hand is resting on a dark shape of his hip. So, Peter looks between the two of you. Do you have a reason for interrupting my business? He gestures around, and while some people have moved on, a few are hanging back to watch what comes next. You're about to jump my friend, Eugene nods at the contact, who is quietly watching with a concerned look on his face. The comment sends a small rumble of conversation around the remaining crowd. It seems the singers aren't so popular here. I think you misunderstood. We were simply asking for information. He shoots a sharp smile at the contact. I think Lewis has told you everything he's happy to share. Eugene shoots a glare at his contact, who nods sheepishly. Sheepishly. Peter looks between all of you and then surveys the crowd. One of the singers starts to interrupt, but Peter raises a hand and silences them. See you around then. He smiles a sharp smile at Eugene and leads the other singers away into the crowd, which parts slightly as they enter it. Louis, Louis, Eugene rounds on the smaller finger. How about... Not here, Lewis interrupts. He sighs. Come with me. Lewis, a nervous signal chaser. He's a nervous motherfucker. Is he dodgy or is he really dodgy? He could be extremely dodgy. Lewis leads you away from the open market, most of the crowd having dispersed into a small passageway. He finds a hatch, opens it, and beckons you both through before slipping inside, closing it behind you. So what business did you have with the singers? Eugene perches on a stool in the small workshop, picking up a tool from the mag strip above the bench and turning it over in his hands. Singers? Is that what you call them? Lewis looks nervous. The first I've known of them is when they turned up a few cycles back and started pressing me for info. I've run into some singers before. Not these ones, but they all dress the same. Eugene glances between you and Luis. They are refugees out of Ember's Song, one of the moons of that gas giant in the inner system. Their moon is a volcanic hellhole, so while these guys are refugees fleeing the war like most, they tend to be tough as hell and aren't used to being told no. Well, that part checks out. Luis smiles a weak smile. They've been pressing me for data for cycles ever since they showed up. My data. Eugene clicks the tool back on the mag strip and fixes Lewis with a hard stare. You've been shopping it around then, trying to drive a bidding war. Lewis holds up his hands. No. Nothing like that. He's afraid of Eugene and you worry why that might be. I just wanted to verify the data. I asked around, someone I showed it to, well, they mentioned a fraction drive. Hang on a second, programs. Just need to sort something out. Alright, and very definitely need some water. Hang on. Water. Mentioned a fraction drive. You see Eugene bristle with anger. Lewis keeps talking, speeding up. Now that was all, but a couple of cycles later, these singers, as you called them, started showing up and I had to hide myself away. Hard to run a data business when you can't even go out to meet your clients. Where's the data now? Lewis turns to you, seemingly glad not to have to look at the angry Eugene. I have it, don't you worry. Lewis smiles, and it comes with a hell of a story. The friend I showed it to, he told me he's heard about that ship before, mostly what he thought were rumours about a fraction drive ship. Apparently, when Solheim collapsed, there was a struggle over who got to take it. 2 execs from the old corporate hierarchy wanted it, and some of their underlings found out about it too. Those wrecks you visited, that was the site of a battle over the thing. This ship was a hot ticket even then. You think back to the twisted and blasted remains of the ships, the wreckage strewn across the asteroid. You wonder how many died trying to get the Aphelion path and its golden drive. Seems like both the execs got spaced, but someone came back later, slipped the ship out of the wreck that was carrying it. Here's the funny thing, rather than use it, they dismantled it, took the ship apart here at the Hollow. Hell, there's probably strut work from the Aphelion path in this very station. Lewis looks around at the salvage compartment. You're all inside. So it's gone? Not quite, Lewis smiles, enjoying telling the story now. They weren't stupid enough to dismantle an interstellar drive. The story goes that they buried it on a rock out in the shoals, totally unmarked. With thousands of rocks out there, they could leave it as long as they wanted and come back when they were ready. Thing is, they never came back. Eugene finishes the sentence, his anger fading now. Bingo, Lewis grins as he holds up a thumbnail drive, and I've got the coordinates of the beacon that will lead you there. Eugene snatches it from his fingers. Should have led with that. Lewis sighs deeply. That's just the start of the trail, no doubt, but it'll get you there if you manage to follow it. Eugene nods at you and goes to leave, his hands immediately on the container hatch. Hey, Lewis rushes up. Aren't you going to pay for that? Not after you leak that the fraction drive exists to your friend, the singers, and anyone else who's looking, no. Eugene pulls the door open. Keep it quiet next time. Lewis turns to you. Come on, friend. The singers chased away my clients. He shows you his upturned palms. 50 cryo for the effort, or just whatever you have. I'll take it. I'm desperate. Yeah, look, I'm pretty rich, so alright, mate. You did do some work for us, and it was a good story, and you're an idiot, so here's some money. You pass him a stack of chits, and he clasps your hand. I appreciate it. He looks over your shoulder to see if Eugene is still there. Hey, look, be careful with that one, alright? He's not to be trusted. You turn, and Eugene is already gone. You follow him out of the container. Time to go find a fraction drive. New contract on MEP. Right, so I need 6 fuel. 6 fuel. Probably time to feed the cat too. However, no, we're gonna need to do this first. Oh, hang on, we've run out of dice. Fair enough. Fair enough, next day. Sure. Bum bum BG boo. Alright, let's see what we can do here for a couple of cycles. We need to buy some fuel. Intercept signals. New location. It's the bar. Supplies I don't need. Alright, we continue. New location discovered. Debris dealers. Scrap component. Sell process scrap. That's where we sell this. Gotcha. And here's the fuel. Alright. I'm gonna sell this. And I'm gonna wonder if it's a mistake. 30 cryo. Oh, I can only do it once? Oh no. Honestly, I guess we've got plenty of money. So, but at least I know that's where we do that. We know where to get the fuel. We need to keep doing this. We need to try and find somewhere to work. New location. With the money. Give us the money. Help with repairs. The signaling station in the pole was paying a small fee to anyone who helped seal up the damage sustained in a recent explosion. Well, let's try. I still got some money though, so that's not the worst outcome. Where's the bar? We need some food. Lovely. End cycle. Come on, give us some fuel. Nice. That's all we needed, right? That's all we needed. Wow, look at this absolute rubbish. I think we continue with this. Beautiful. And that's another thing to do. So we can sell Solheim data. And we can make some money, I think, maybe. Yeah, right, so that gives money. What about this? Also money. So, how are we looking? Alright, we've got one more day. So, might as well just do the money here. Hope we don't, yeah, we're just losing energy. So this is basically the same as Far Spindle or whatever. Alright, next day. Get some food. Lovely. Make some money. What I wanted? That's what I wanted. What was here? Hey, there is something here though. Probably should do that. Not much money though. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We've got plenty of cash. We've got plenty of the cash. Well, we've done what we can there. Alright, so we now go do this. You feeling on the beacon? Let's see. So we got him. I do like that she's got the plus, but I mean, then it also means she's basically useless in other spots. But let's do it. Let's risk it. The biscuit needs to be risked. We're coming up on the beacon site now. Seraphim brings the ship into place. Signal's pretty weak though. He turns in his chair, which is what you get for chasing 10,000 cycle-old leads that got a lot of people killed. Since you explained the situation to Seraphim, he hasn't gotten any more enthusiastic about the job, especially as a job that comes from Eugen. Seraphim shuts down the engine and turns to Eugen. Time for you to go have a poke around in those rocks. He waves a hand at the scattering of asteroids. Enjoy. Eugen barely seems to notice the sarcasm. A kind of fixed determination has come over him since you left the Hollow. It's not something you've seen before. Let's shoot up and find the beacon. He pats you on the shoulder. Lewis says it's the first of a trail, so the faster we locate this one and get ourselves pointed to the next, the better. Enough messing around. He kicks off and glides out of the cockpit, heading straight for the airlock. If it's a signal we are tracing, then we should think about trying to triangulate it. Junie stares out of the cockpit at the sparse grey rocks. No point just wandering around and finding whatever else the beacon planter left for overly cautious travellers. Nice to be on the trail of a piece of history though. If the Aphelion path was real, well, Junie smiles, it'd be quite a find. Junie turns and follows Eugen to the airlock. It's just you and Seraphim left in the cockpit. He taps at his console, ignoring you. You think this is a bad idea? Seraphim turns. Me? He mockingly puts a finger on his own chest. Look, he gets serious for a second. People have been searching for this thing since the Solheim collapse. That's a lot of desire directed at one hidden drive. Objects like that tend to get people in trouble, Seraphim sighs, at least in my experience. So take it slow and keep your eyes on Eugen. Seraphim turns back to the console, busying himself with diagnostics. You turn and leave the cockpit, your mind on the beacon and the trail that should, all being well, ended a ticket out of the entire system. God dang. It's craziness. Beacon location. The beacon's location is masked by debris or radiation. You'll have to search it out to find the path ahead. Alright, we've got pluses over here. That's good. That's very good. Alright, let's go. Triangulate. Okay, we've got 3 4s. Actually, we've got 1... Well, that's a 5 as well. Neutral. Absolute scumbucketry. And this is a 5. The best we've got is a 3. We just need a neutral. Oh, come on. Beautiful. Perfect. New location discovered. What do we got here? Pluses everywhere. We're good. Okay. Do I want to risk... I don't see why not. I could re-roll, I suppose. No, 2's not good enough. Really? Oh yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, fair enough. And this will be worth a 3. I guess it's worth the risk. Try and hit our 25%. Oh, we hit the positive 25%. How? That never happens. Okay, next cycle. I need to feed the cat next time we're somewhere useful. Feed the cat. Tuppence a cat. Alright, let's just stick with this one. All too easy. We're in. Eugene nods at the data port deep inside the body of the beacon. He peers through his suit's faceplate at it. You have part of the plating removed and you are pretty sure you have access to the coordinates you need. All that's left is to slot a drive. I've got this. Eugene takes out a thumbnail drive and slots it. Easy as can be. A smile flickers across his face. You peer into the beacon. It has been a delicate job getting the security access and the system knowledge to find the coordinates for the next step, but it all seems to have passed without incident. Got it. Eugene pulls the drive and thumps you on the shoulder. Let's head to the next one. Look alive down there. Seraphine's voice comes over the comms. We've got a ship on approach. We need to make ourselves scarce. You and Eugene exchange looks. The singers. You kick off and glide towards the ship, but Eugene goes in the other direction. You wonder what he's doing for a second and then you see it. He arrives at the beacon and immediately begins laying into its metal shell. He pulls a tool from his suit's belt and caves in the beacon with an anger that chills you. When he's done, the beacon just another chunk of debris in the shoals. He joins you in the cockpit. Seraphine gives you a look but doesn't say a word. He just silently taps in the new coordinates. You look across at Eugene, his expression fixed and his eyes cold. Then Seraphine fires up the drive. Meow. A shrill bleep wakes you from your stargazing. What was that? Seraphine looks around the cockpit as warning lights and sirens sound all over the ship. The terminal screens flicker, some of them not coming back on. You hear a groan from somewhere deep in the ship. Some kind of pulse, an energy weapon? Seraphine slaps the side of his flickering terminal until it stabilizes. On it you see a red dot moving further away from the center of a circle. A ship is accelerating away. Seraphine taps at his console, bringing up the transponder information. He turns to Eugene with a hard stare. It's Vesna. Eugene shakes his head. Got it in one. Seraphine grits his teeth. The limb hound, registered in the far spindle. He slams his fist on his keyboard. How did she find us? How? Because Eugene is a sloppy operator, that's how. Seraphine shakes his head and starts working on the drive system. Now we're stranded. She knocked out our drive, must have been waiting for us. Seraphine sighs. We'll need to get it activated as quickly as we can. Eugene is up from his seat, peering out of the window at the large rock floating just outside. The beacon has to be there. Vesna cracked it and then waited for us to catch up. She was trying to dissuade us. Well, she's done a pretty good job. Seraphim scrolls through the layers of drive diagnostics. Give up now. Eugene glances at you. We're so close. Eugene's right. Seraphim sniffs but says nothing. The singers are out there too. If we are lucky, they will cancel each other out. Eugene goes to leave the cockpit. We decrypt the beacon and fix the drive. No distractions. Eugene kicks off and glides out of the cockpit towards the airlock. I knew this was going to get complicated, Junie sighs, but we have to keep the find at the end of this trail in mind. To let it fall into incurious hands, she shakes her head. We need to be the ones to claim it. Look, Seraphim turns in his seat. We're in this now. No way back, only forward. But the moment this goes south, and it will, I'll pull you out and we are leaving. Whether Eugene wants to back out or not. Seraphim meets your eye. He's serious. I understand. Seraphim nods, saying nothing. Seraphim turns back to his console. This, as far as he is concerned, is your problem to fix. Look, an oath it's my problem to fix. Motherfucker. Hang on a second. Disabled drive. You won't be getting far with a disabled drive. Time to get it started again, however you can. And also, Aphelion Beacon Trail. I think I'm going to fix the drive as a priority here, even though haven't got much options. Okay, let's see. I've got a 4. And this is a 5, actually. That would have been better. I'm gonna redo my die. Oh my god, they were much worse. That is terrible. Fuck, I hate that. I'll hide it. What can we do with Junie? Can she do anything here? Yeah, she can do this. Let's do a 5. The rest of these die are just not worth anything, really. We end cycle. God dang. What's the point of that re-rolling dice? That's better. I'll take that. I'll take that every day of the week and twice on Thursdays. Alright, so let's start with our 6s. Not gonna be enough. Fucking hell. And a 5. Yeah, that will be enough. Okay, drive's fixed. Drive is fixed. So over to this. Over to you, John. And Eugen is completely useless here. It's not good. Alright, I've got at least some 4s. I'll take it. I don't like that. These are 4s as well. Give it a shot, sleeper. Bad, very bad. Alright, we continue. Not too bad. Oh, pretty good actually. Alright, so we should be done if... Let's do... Let's just use her once in case there's more on the day. Perfect. Seraphim punches the final set of coordinates into his console and runs a fresh set of diagnostics on the rig's drive. Everything comes up green. The atmosphere in the cockpits is tense. None of you know what you might be flying into. Eugene's jaw is set, his eyes on the stars and scattered rocks, his goal in reach. Not a goal to be underestimated. A fraction drive, one that can take any ship out of the system and beyond, one that can forge a path through the surrogate systems few can take. Freedom, both from this system's politics and the structures of power that dominate the passage of people through colonized space. The problem with such a lofty ambition is that it is infectious, seductive. It is desirable enough to draw people out, bring them to their absolute limit. You have seen that in Eugene. The singers too are shaped by that desire, and Vesna, the steely-eyed captain you don't seem to be able to shake. The question is, who will flinch first? Your face will flinch first. Aphelion's End, the final resting place of the Aphelion path. Here you are, moored around a remote and airless rock, a scattering of debris concealing an object of great value, in a system spiraling into war. We're the last here, Seraphim shuts down the drive, but at least no one started shooting. Vesna would only kill as a last resort. Eugene looks out at the rock. The singers, I'm less sure about. Reassuring, Seraphim deadpans. So what now? We walk out there and start digging? We talk it over with them. A fraction drive doesn't divide in three, Sleeper. You turn to face Eugene, but he's already gone. You get after him, Seraphim shakes his head. I'm going to keep the rig warm. I get the feeling we are going to be needing it. As you glide out of the cockpit, you hear the airlock cycling. Eugene is already out. You speed up, grabbing a suit and wrestling it on as you head for the airlock. The door hisses open to reveal a sparse landscape. The twisted parts of a facility or ship, corroded beyond recognition, jut up out of the dusty rock. Squinting into the faint and distant sun, you can make out two figures in suits standing a fair distance apart in the middle of the loose circle of debris. You glide towards them, specks of loose gravel and decaying metal bouncing off your suit as you do. Now, a voice crackles through your comms as you approach, broadcast over the open channel. None of us want to die out here. And that will be continued in 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. Is my neck broken? No, we're good. We're good. None of us want to die out here. You see them now, the two figures, Vesna and the leader of the singers, Peter, facing each other across the dusty plain. Vesna's arm jutting out from her body, her hand resting on an object at her hip, a weapon. Keep your distance, Sleeper. Her eyes flick over to you as you approach. This godforsaken rock is crowded enough as it is. We set foot here first. The claim is ours by anyone's judgment. Peter speaks calmly and slowly, his arms at his hips and his palms upturned. And I suspect we are also the best equipped to find the fraction drive and put it to use. Anyone's judgment, Vesnaskov? Who do you see out here to validate your claim? She gestures at the rock-strewn void with one hand, her other firmly on the grip of her handgun. The Sleeper is our witness here. Peter turns slowly to you. I'm sure they'll verify our claim. I didn't see who was first. Vesna laughs. Well, at least someone here still has integrity. You look between the two of them, searching their faces for an intent and opening anything. Vesna's ocular implants give nothing away, but the visible tension in her gun arm suggests failing patience. Peter, meanwhile, projects an atmosphere of considered calm, but there is violence behind that benign smile and a crew of singers somewhere out in the dark. The drive is mine, back off. Vesna using that weapon will see your face. Peter, tell your crew to stand down. The drive is mine, back off. Vesna raises a single eyebrow above her metal eye. Then you'll have to come and take it. Her arm tenses. The shot is silent, its direction unclear, but its effect is immediate. The side of Vesna's suit explodes in a geyser of escaping oxygen. She spins, clutching at the wound to clamp it closed. As she does, you see the shot grazed her, splitting the suit but leaving her body beneath intact. Might want to run and get that fixed, Vesna. Eugene slips out of the shadow of a piece of debris at the edge of the circle. He holds a long gun at his hip. Stay silent. Let's all stay calm. Eugene moves slowly closer. You son of a bitch. Vesna is doubled over, unable to take her hands away from the hole in her suit without risking immediate depressurization. Eugene draws alongside you, his eyes still on Peter. Time to turn yourself around, get in that ship of yours and go back to wherever the hell you crawled out from. You glance at Vesna. There is a spout of oxygen spewing out from her suit, leaking between her fingers. She doesn't have long. We can't abandon this claim. Peter shows his open palms. For the singers to survive, we must leave this system behind. There is no way for us to support ourselves here. Our moon is gone, eaten up by the war. The belt will be next. You may as well shoot me here if you're not going to let me take the drive. This is my people's future. Well, Eugene shifts his shoulders. If you insist. Sleeper, we have incoming. A lot of incoming. You glance at Eugene. He is hearing the message too. A whole load of Conway ships are approaching this location. Conway? What are they doing here? I'm not about to radio and ask them, Seraphine's voice distorts, but it's not hard to imagine that news of this fraction drive has reached further than anyone wanted. You look across at Peter and see his lips moving, but hear nothing. He is talking to his crew. A moment later you hear a click as he switches back to the open channel. You heard what I just heard, then you know we are out of time. Peter looks deadly serious now, his face of diplomatic calm having fallen away. We singers are the only crew who can pull the fraction drive out before Conway arrives. There are more of us and we have the experience. Let us take it. Don't let it fall into the hands of this system's biggest enemy. Sleeper, Seraphine hisses over the comms. Get back to the rig. No, Eugene cuts in. You aren't sure if he's responding to Seraphine, Peter, or both. The drive is ours. I have worked too hard and come too far to let it go now. He raises the long gun to his shoulder. You're all insane, Vesna spits out the words, her voice strained and hoarse. I'll leave you to your graves. She kicks off from the rock, arcing towards the crimson shape of the limb-hound. Eugene doesn't even watch her go. You see something flaring in his eyes, a dark drive with no other resolution. I guess I'll try talking him down. Boom. You put a hand on Eugene's shoulder and his eyes flick to you. You know what it is to be driven, especially towards freedom. Yours is a life where each escape has been earned both by desire and sheer determination. But you also know how lives are wasted, thrown against the walls that restrain them again and again, only to come apart. You know that determination must be tempered by humanity, by empathy, by care. And in this moment, that is what passes between you and Eugene. Solidarity, empathy, and care. Eugene's resolve crumbles and he turns. You see Peter watching carefully, his eyes flicking between the two of you. When he sees Eugene drop his gun, he nods to you and retreats. There's work to be done. You kick off from the rock together, you and Eugene, in silent resignation. Even when you reach the open airlock of the rig, Eugene does not look back. Once your suits are off, you both glide up to the cockpit to find Seraphine rapidly starting the drive. His console screen is filled with red pulses, the signature of Conway drone ships bearing down on this lonely rock. He glances up as you enter the cockpit, but says nothing. You are thankful for that, at least. This is no time for glib remarks. You take one last look at the Phelion Path's final resting place. Across its surface, black-suited singers, like a small army of ants, industriously work to excavate and extract the fraction drive. In the face of the inhuman and cruel arm of Conway Extractions, it's hard not to wish them well. May their freedom buy them the kind of future you will not be able to claim. And then the drive kicks in and you leave the singers to their fate. God dang! All this for nothing! The ship is quiet as you dock with the Hollow, no one eager to speak about what happened out there in the shoals. Even Seraphine is silent, tapping away at the engine shutdown with comfortingly routine motions. Eugene broods at the back of the cockpit, looking drained and pale. You know it will take him some time to come back from this, to extract himself from the hold that fraction drive, that dream held over him. You wonder if he ever will, or if the freedom that object represented to him will haunt him for the remains of his life. You know, at least, that now is not the time to try to discuss it, to lay out exactly what happened out there. Eugene will retreat, of course, hiding beneath the glib personality you have come to recognize as his shield. But perhaps as the cycles pass, he will find himself changed. Perhaps not. Either way, there is much to be done, and this thankless adventure has derailed you enough. Time to get back to work. Let the dust settle. Okay. This we need to wait. This we need to wait. This is Scatty Yards. And this is Scatty Yards. So I guess we'll just toggle this one. Right. Excellent. Feed the cat. Done. Can't say it's not done because it's done. And we've got our making money here, so let's do that before... Well, hang on. We need... Is this where we buy stuff? Yeah. Alright, so... What do we need this to be on? We need it on supplies. And here we will try to make some money. We're making the money. Don't need that money. Boom. Boom. Give me the money. I want your money. You hand your money to me for doing the work. Boom. Come on. Come on, neutral. Boo. Boo. Boo, I says. Duck, I says. It's Duke. Duck, I says. I said duck. Okay, look at this. Making money. Is there anything else here? This one had the... Yeah, I should have been doing this one. Oh, I'm coughing again. Hang on, I'll be back. Oh my god, Jesus, the coughing. Breathed in a dust or something. Alright, we did that. What do you mean fried, Kimball? Our station depends on that array. The voice echoes out of one of the sunward pole's cramped bays tucked up in the ceiling of the hollow. Though you are tired from a shift spent sealing leaks in this shattered section of the station, you still can't help but listen in. I have been patient, Kimball, but now, with the repairs almost done, you're telling me we can't broadcast anyway? The voice comes from a doorway nearby, and as you float past, you glance inside. You see a woman facing away, addressing the back of a man half buried in the guts of some complex machine. I'm sorry, Kimball, she concludes, but that just feels malicious. The man, presumably Kimball, mumbles something in response, though you do not catch it through the wires and mechanisms that surround him. Pirate radio technician Kimball. The woman quickly turns and spots you peering in through the doorway. She gives you a curious look. Pirate radio broadcaster, Cyrene. Oh, she quickly smiles. Hello. She closes the distance. I'm Cyrene. She offers a hand. I've seen you working on the repairs. She tilts her head. We appreciate your efforts. Happy to help. Cyrene looks over her shoulder at Kimball and then back at you. Back to you. How do you feel, she pauses calculating, about the war in the inner system? I don't know much about it. I'm not surprised. She leans in a little. That's how they want it to be. Did you know that Senate Stat has already started shipbuilding at Cinza? Cyrene watches you for your response. Cinza? One of the three sisters in orbits around Ember. She raises an eyebrow. You haven't left the belt, have you? You hear a grunt from Kimball, his head still buried in the machine's innards, and it is unclear if it is in reference to what was said or it's just the sound of repairs going poorly. We, Cyrene places her hand on her chest, are the Helion Dispatchers, the only pirate radio station in the Starward Belt. She lifts her chin proudly. We keep the system up to date on shifts in the system's power structures and ongoing corporate war, all through the voices of the Helion system's own residents. Kimball grunts again and a shower of sparks bursts from the machine behind Cyrene. Or at least we did before our transmitter got fried. Cyrene looks suddenly crestfallen. What happened? All that repair work you've been giving you time to, your time to? That was all caused by a Conway autonomous munition trained on our scent. Cyrene's eyes flash with anger. A mumble comes from Kimball as he pushes a handful of wiring out of his way. I do know that for sure, Kimball. Why else would it come so deep into the belt to hit the hollow at our broadcast site? Cyrene turns back, hands on hips. Kimball responds with a shrug. Either way, straight after that attack, we found our gear had been tampered with, sabotaged. Sabotaged! Hang on a second. Need to grab a picture of it. There we go, picture taken. Continue. Kimball grunts. Yes, Kimball, or just looted. Either way, we are now quiet, and when we are quiet, the war continues unobserved. Cyrene folds her arms and looks away defeated. What do you need? Look, we need a new broadcast array, a better broadcast array. Cyrene glances over her shoulder. We don't quite have the reach we'd like. Where you get one, that's another problem. We're talking pre-collapse tech here. It's not something we can just build ourselves. Kimball mutters something from the depth of the machine. Yeah, Holmes Rock isn't a bad idea, Cyrene replies. It used to be a relay station for Solheim, so it stands to reason they'd have arrays. And then there's the terminal there. Kimball's been bugging me to dig out some engine components for him to crack open and use in his repairs. God knows what kind of repairs he'd need for those, but that's what he says. Cyrene looks over her shoulder at Kimball, but receives no response. Excuse me. You both stare at his broad shoulders for a moment as a thin trail of smoke begins to emerge from the machine. Now maybe we can do a little fundraising here on the Hollow. Oh my god, the coughing. Excuse me. What we can get we'll happily hand over. Cyrene shakes her head, but I'm telling you now it won't be a lot. I'll see what I can do. Well, I said, I'll see what I can do. You'll never live like common people. We'd appreciate it. Hell, the people of the Helion system would appreciate it. She glances over her shoulder. I think Kimball would appreciate it too. You leave Cyrene and Kimball to their repairs, making note of the engine components and wideband array they will need to get back on the air. It's hard to tell if the job will be worth your time, but then again, someone as knowledgeable as Cyrene might be a useful asset. A useful asset. New location discovered. New drive available. Back at Holmes Rock. Minor. Oh, that's major. Major. That's major. That's major. That's major. I'm gonna do the minor one. Minors, not minors. Pirate radio station. Repair transmission for 2 engine components. I need engine component though. Where do I get engine components from? And this is the array. Alright, so. Hang on, I've got 5 engine components. Is that what I needed? 8. I need 8. So I need 10 engine components. So we've lost our ability to work there. Oh, but that's fine. This was better work, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Might as well. Might as well. Be rude not to. Oh, fuck you. Alright, next day. Excellente. So we'll need some food. Good old food. Do some more work. I'll take it. Oh, I'll take that too. I wasn't expecting it. An unexpected surprise, but a welcome one. Eugene finds you in a quiet corner of the rig. Seraphim just gave me something I think you need to see. Eugene has been uncharacteristically quiet since your journey to the Aphelion Path's resting place, and even now, there is a seriousness to him you do not recognize. He produces a personal terminal, a slate, and shows you the screen. On it is a message from the singers, from Peter. I am pleased to report the fraction drive's extraction was a success. You hear the gravelly voice in your mind as you read. Thanks to your choice to concede. Conway attempted pursuit, but Singer ships are fast and quiet, and we soon lost them in the debris. You smile. Peter's arrogance is clear, even in writing. We have now begun on the project to implement and expand the fraction drive, which is why I'm writing to you. Encrypted with this message is a full scan of the drive itself, its components and systems. You exchange a glance with Eugene. I believe you deserve as much for your integrity in our encounter. I'm glad we didn't have to kill you. What you do with the plans is up to you, but I would recommend you do not attempt to sell or publish them unless you wish to attract further attention from Conway. The singers will soon leave Helion, and in part, we have to acknowledge your role in making this possible. We wish you safe passage on your journey, Peter. At the bottom of the message, a handful of encrypted files open up to reveal an insanely complex set of scans and diagrams, the fraction drive. You look up at Eugene, who has a sharp smile on his face. The bastard did it. He shakes his head, and I've got you to thank for stopping me from killing him. Can we build this? Eugene puffs. I'm no engineer, but perhaps he squints at the diagrams. We would need a lot of resources, and the kind of machines only found in places like Darkside. With time, research, who knows? Eugene grins. The point is, it's possible. We have the plans, the path is there. You see it now, Eugene's swagger returning. For better or worse, this project fuels him. It's on the back burner for now. We have more immediate things to deal with. He slips the terminal away, but I will start calling in favors quietly, investigating how real this is. Do it carefully. He nods. I have learnt my lesson. Eugene frowns, something dark crossing his face. Look, I know this is exciting, but he pauses, unsure of his words. We know what people did to claim this drive. He swallows hard. What I did. Eugene taps at the terminal. Part of me wants to delete these right now. He looks down. They make me afraid of what I'll do to fulfill them. You did nothing wrong. Nothing you know about, he shakes his head. If you spoke to Lewis or Vesna, he trails off. Perhaps you are right, he smiles weakly. I want to believe it. He slips the slate away. The way you treat me, it makes me believe something. His brow knits, his own words irritating him. But I'm not sure what it is. And I'm not much of a believer. Eugene looks down. You can see he is fighting with himself. I don't like to owe people. He pats you on the shoulder, but for you, I will make an exception. With that, he turns away, gliding back through the ship and out of sight. A fraction drive of your own, a machine to cut a path through the stars. You shake your head. It's hard not to dream. But you've seen the danger of that dream too, what it drove Eugene and others to do. Perhaps together you can keep each other on that narrow path to the future without straying into obsession. Or perhaps thinking of those impossibly complex plans it will never come to pass. Are they a diagram of your future, or a labyrinth to become lost in? The only way to know is to live it together. To live it together. Major drive completed. Major drive. Colonel Johnson and his major drive. Right, here we go. Do I want to get one of these to plus plus? Or do I want 4 pluses? Engage or engineer? I think I'm going to go engage. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I'm going to do it anyway. Boom. You can't say it wasn't done, because it's done. It's done like the doltish dinner roast that it is. No, that made no sense. None. None, I tell you. Alright, so we'll finish up making some thing here. We've got to get back to home. Where is Holmes Rock? So, Alien's Gate, fast spindle. Oh, it's up here. Shit. That's fine, because I want to... Some of these there must be somewhere where I buy engine parts, basically. I don't remember where, but if we head back, we'll, you know, hopefully find them. Give me the money. Boo. All right. So, now we need to buy fuel. Does this sell fuel? It does. Alright. Give me all the fuel. Beautiful. And we're out of here. Greenbelt. Confirm. Now, there's no point... The biosphere, once barren, is transformed. Where it was once dry and grey, it now swirls with amber dust, a hazy cloud cut through with the bone-white tendrils of steppe silk. Aki, in mask and goggles, lets the biosphere's circulating air play with the end of her scarf, twirling and twisting, even threatening to rip it from her neck. That scarf, she has explained, is woven from the bast fibres of the steppe silk itself. That is why this place is known as Weaver's Fields, for the workshops of Greenbelt residents creating fabric from its steppe silk fibres, weavers who fled from Ember's steppe and those taught afresh by Aki herself. Isn't it beautiful, Aki asks, her eyes glowing. Ember's steppe reborn on this rock, but not as an archive, as something new. The plants themselves are reconfigured. The steppe silk adapts well to the microgravity, even thrives, and the dust itself becomes a cloud that surrounds it. Aki points to a tendril stretching across the space. What was once a burrowing plant is now a bridging plant. Like us, it projects itself across empty space, pushing out into its new conditions. Aki looks at you. Sorry, I'm rambling. This place does that to me. Her chuckle is muffled by her mask. It is beautiful. Aki bows. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Let's leave the dust house. We can talk more easily outside. She shepherds you through some nearby double doors, the space between blasting you with air to clean away the dust. You find yourself in a sparse room, racks of unfamiliar tools on the walls, slit-like windows looking out into the amber dust storm. This is just the beginning for us. Aki has slipped off her mask and her voice is crisp and bright above the rumbling of the air recyclers. The steppe silk is already being harvested, retted, and woven. This is no synthetic fibre from the dark side looms. This is a natural fabric out here in this unnatural place. Aki brushes a little dust away. We will trade it and get what Greenbelt needs to stay stable, to feed its people. I am the administrator, but the workers are the owners here, and we will make a future for ourselves from our work. Aki shrugs. We control our path. What more could we want? Silence falls in the room. The idea of such a future is so desirable that it's almost painful, an idea that haunts you. You can spend as much time here as you like. Aki breaks the silence, somehow aware of your thoughts. I find the noise soothes me. Stay silent. Aki pauses. There's something you want to ask me, she smiles. I can see it right there on the tip of your tongue. Explain about Nemba. Aki listens carefully as you talk about the refugees from in the far spindle, and the possibility of setting up a mutual relationship between them and Greenbelt. The far spindle is a long way from here, she sighs. Come, find me in my unit later, we can discuss more then. You leave Aki in her dust house, surrounded by the landscape of her homeworld, one of many creatures born on that parched moon that is in the process of transforming into something new. New location discovered. Major drive completed. Nice. Aki's unit. Aki's working in... I need packed spores. There it is. Alright, let's do it. Aki looks at the crate of spores with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. The well-travelled crate does appear very rough at this point. Come in. The door of Aki's unit slides open and you see her perched at a terminal, her face pale in the blue light of the screen. We've not seen her in this setting before. She seems paler, older when she isn't surrounded by the soft light of the biomes. Just one moment, her eyes do not leave the screen and she leans in closer, squinting at some detail. You get the sense that this is her least favourite part of her administrative position. She sighs and looks up. Done. Immediately her eyes are drawn to the crate you carry. What have you brought me? Spores! Spores! Her eyes light up. Let me see. As she unlocks the worn catches on the crate, you explain about Nemba and his work to feed the refugees in the underhang. You aren't sure Aki is listening though. She seems too eager to see inside the crate. Aki manages to get the lid open and lifts a dented canister out of the inside. Turns it, peering through the small windows at the dusty-looking translucent sheet curled inside. Spore prints. She looks at you. This is quite a gift. From this Nemba, you said. She carefully slots the canister away. We will make good use of these. The tunnels under Greenbelt will make an excellent mushroom garden. She smiles to herself. I was lucky enough to be taught how to tend mushrooms by a true expert. Who was that? Ah, someone from my journey here. A botanist on Erland's Eye. She was very kind to us. Aki smiles. She would have liked to meet you. I would like to meet Nemba. Perhaps we can find some commonality. She glances over her shoulder at her terminal. But I can't leave Greenbelt. Not now. She looks at you sheepishly. I'm a little nervous to ask this of you, given your ferrying back and forth of messages and deliveries, but would you bring Nemba here so that we can speak? Gladly. Aki smiles. I hope that would be the case. A shrill beep begins emanating from Aki's terminal. Ah, she smiles. The Weavers. I need to speak to them. You make your way out of the unit as Aki takes a deep breath and accepts the incoming transmission. One more run from Greenbelt to the fast spindle and back again. At least you aren't carrying spores this time. Spores this time. Spores! But oh no, this is... What was the other one that I had to wait for her to finish. That's right, I see. Now, do I want to use these two for this? Reroll dice cannot be a 1. Just don't use it enough. I feel like these are better. No dice damage on push reroll. I think that's better. Alright, so question. Do I want this? I mean, reroll dice, the ones are bad, but I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're waiting for another 4. We're waiting for another 4. Alright, can we make some money here? No. We need fuel, though. We'll buy the fuel. And yeah, that's all we can do here, so not much point sticking around. You are the first to notice them, small, white, smooth shapes at the boundaries between hull plates in the seams of paneling curling out from beneath the vents. It's mushrooms! Mushrooms dotted here and there all across the cargo bay, mushrooms growing on your ship. This doesn't seem very hygienic, Bliss floats next to you, surveying the scattering of pale caps in the cargo bay. Do cats like mushrooms? It's hard not to agree, although you doubt spores and fungi can have a significant effect on your body. Not that you've risked it before. We should vent the cargo bay. Seraphin's voice crackles through the cargo bay speakers. He's flying the ship, but you updated him on your new passengers. This is what comes from having spores in wonky crates sitting in your bay cycle after cycle. Bliss shrugs. They don't seem to be hurting anyone. They float over to a cap and tear it off at the stem. We know from Nemba that these are edible, so... we could farm them? We are always short of supplies, Seraphin's voice buzzes through the speakers, but a few caps don't make a meal. Bliss inspects the cap. I do like a good mushroom. They sniff it. Back on the eye, they had these matsutake that smelled amazing. You look over the cargo bay. It doesn't get used much. Most of your hauls fit comfortably in 1/4. There's plenty of room to isolate a little growing area, maybe with some plastic sheets. Or you could just open the hatch and let the void of space sterilize the whole place for you as you fly. After all, if these things get into the air recyclers, you could have a serious problem on your hands, and who knows what they might do to the wiring. You doubt either decision will bother Nemba at least. His spores are delivered, and you have a free hand to choose. I'm keeping the mushrooms. Bliss holds the cap to their mouth, then thinks better of it. They squint at you. Are you sure? Yep, keep them. We'll still need to figure out how to harvest and prepare them. Bliss slips the cap into a pocket, but I think it's a good call. You hope they're right. This rig is busy enough without adding extra ecosystems into the mix. As you leave the cargo bay, you suddenly realize you've taken on yet another project. It is becoming a habit. Mushrooms. Mushroom Samba decided not to clear the cargo bay out. Achievement unlocked. Right, I need 4, right? 4. Come on. 4. Yeah, alright. So make sure we're on fuel here. Scavenge fuel. What was this? This was endure, which I'll never have, so there's no way of fixing that up for us. This, cut away scrap. We can do some data scraping, I suppose. Yeah, alright. I think we do a day of this. Just for the data. Alright, we do 1 cycle and hope we get 1 fuel. We do. I think that's where we'll leave it. Oh, I suppose we might as well use our dice while we're here. No, I'm not risking a negative. Don't need it. On our way back to the Fassbindel. Alright, presumably, hang on, where's my... Wait, I'm heading to... Grab Nemba while we're here. Don't need that really. Take Nemba to Arki. What? Why would I give him my fuel? We're on fuel at the moment anyway, so let's do our job while we're here. And then collect Nemba. I'm just a bit concerned. Well, we'll get Nemba on the way back then. Because I feel like that's just going to launch me directly there somehow. Wait, while we're here. This is gambling. Buy fuel, buy supplies. Food. Process raw scrap. I don't have any. And buy scrap components, which I don't know what I use for. So no, none of them are about engine parts, so... Alright, fine. Okay, a couple of days making money. Now. Fucking good. Fucking great. Oh, probably should have fed the cat. Haven't fed the cat. Still a little nervous around the feud. Still waiting outside. Oh, the poor kitty. You wake to find something soft and furry rubbing against your nose. It's the kitty! You sit bolt upright. The stray kicks off from your bunk and settles on the ceiling, back curled up, looking down at you accusingly with those big eyes. Sorry. The stray gently pushes off the ceiling with a soft paw and descends to the edge of your bunk, where it hooks its front claws into the mattress pad. Seeing the cat move in zero-G is still odd. It seems to come naturally to it, and yet its shape is so connected to gravity and weight in your mind. A cat should have the heavy, soft form of a mammal, not the languid, liquid presence of the floating thing in front of you. Cats do be liquid. The stray uses its hooked claws to twist and spin itself so it softly slides against you with its back, rubbing against your arm and purring. You know what it wants. Scratch behind the ears. You scratch behind the stray's pointed ears and the cat pushes its head back against your hand. The stray closes its eyes and purrs. It's funny to think how the stray got out here, perhaps on a ship from the inner system, slipping on at the Isle Sintra. And before that, its ancestors were perhaps carried out to Helion by Solheim executives who had the power and arrogance to bring a cat into space. But this cat, the one on your ship, was born here. That much is obvious. It's a creature of zero gravity, a being that orbits and glides, not one that leaps and stalks. It pats at your hand, encouraging you to continue petting. It is an animal that is part of the crew now. You can't imagine the rig without her. And as you look down at the stray, as nameless and inhuman as you are, the memory returns. The warmth of atmosphere-filtered sun. The weight of flesh and fur, the smell of growing things. You now know what this memory is. It couldn't be more obvious. It's a memory that crossed the gap of your creation. A memory from the mind that was copied, emulated to make your own. It is a part of you. This memory is, in the end, a mistake. Those who designed the sleepers never intended you to carry the memories of the minds that were copied for your creation. They wanted you to emerge as new beings, offshoots from the branch of a human's life, to be cut short when needed. But mistakes can so often become the most powerful and meaningful of emblems. They can guide a being more strongly than any success ever could. That's because at the heart of every mistake is the possibility of change, of a shift in the status quo. You have lived a life of mistakes as much as a life of successes, and look where it has brought you. So you accept the memory, let it wash over you like the sun. You focus on the stray, and as you do, both memories combine. You are stroking both cats separated by time and space, feeling both sets of sensations in double exposure. This doubling is what defines you. You are multiple, branch diverse. You make no apologies for this, and you know that you will only accumulate more selves, more variants as you persist. You claim the mistake and the possibility it offers you. You settle in your berth, delaying the moment of waking, of greeting the cycle a little longer, sharing an unspoken solidarity with the stray that is more expansive than any words could capture. We got the kitty! Do we have to still keep feeding the kitty? Stray is part of the crew now, but she still likes to spend time in a little nest in the supply store. Well, I guess we still feed the kitty occasionally. What are we doing? Where are we? What's going on and how? More work. Hang on, wait, no, what? Are we on day 3? No, we're only on day 1. Day 1, motherfucker. Making the monies. Don't really need it. But we're making it anyway. No one can stop us. Actually, I want to be sourcing supplies, really. Oh, what's this? Shipboard freight. Fungus farmer. Turns out that turning a cargo bay into a mushroom farm is more work than you thought. This will take a while. Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that was there. Fascinating. End cycle. We do that then. To pass our day. I think we do. I'm starving. Shit. Might help if I bought some food. Beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna do the fungus farm then. And let's see what happens if we get negative. Just the energy, fine. One more cycle. We're in the money. Let's keep going. Oh, come on, give me a positive. That'll be it. It'll be done. Boo. Absolute fucking trash. Trash, bullshit, and trash. Unbelievable. Yay. Yay. That was 3, so it's time to move on to... Can I go straight there? I can, but I need 6. No, I want to go to Flotsam as well. Because I don't know where I get the engine parts. And I want the engine parts. Okay. We have fuel now. Let's see what's at Flotsam. It's you! A familiar voice echoes down the tunnel behind you. You turn in the passage to see Femi towering over you. He shakes his head. This just keeps getting better. Been a while, Femi? Yeah, I guess. He frowns and glances over his shoulder. Remember Nia, that sister of mine you thought you'd take on as a contract? Well, she's taken some inspiration from your little trip. You can see anger burning in Femi's eyes, but there's a tiredness there too. He folds his arm across his broad chest. The symbol crash has been in repairs since we got out of Hexport, caught up in that whole mess, Femi sighed. So then, stuck here, she gets bored and decides to sign up with another crew, take a job. I said no and she went anyway. Femi glances at you. What happened at Hexport? No idea, there was some kind of alert, but we were already on our way out. Didn't give it much thought, then the whole place went up. Femi looks away. Been at the scatter yards ever since, till we came here, that is. Symbol crash can't leave right now. I'm halfway through rewiring the damn thing, something else Nia was supposed to do. I asked around, turns out Nia signed on with some idiots heading out to Cutter's End. Femi says the name with an emphasis you can't place. They are as green as you, meaning they have no idea what they're doing going out to a place like that. So you, Femi jabs your chest with a finger, are going to take me out there to go get her. Okay, we can do that. Taking some responsibility, Femi smiles. That's what I like to see. Look, I know how these things go. I've got chits I can pay, Femi grimaces. Can't pay for the parts the symbol crash needs when no one sells them anyway. 250 cryo, Femi folds his arms across his chest, no bargaining. In the meantime, I'm going to try and get the symbol crash ready to make the run herself. He sighs, but the shape she's in, it's not the best idea to head out there alone. You suddenly see the desperation in his eyes. He would risk everything for Nia. I'll be waiting. We need to head out soon. Femi grips your shoulder. Don't test my patience. Femi kicks off and glides back along the passage towards his ship. Don't even think about skipping out of Flotsam without me. He calls back to you. Then we're really done. New contract on map. Is this here? Oh, it's here. Right. Extract Nia. Femi is a miner. Miner? Not miner. Right, so I've got 4 to go get her. Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, hang on. While we're here, while I think of it, let's just finish off the fungus. Nice. So what have we got here? Every 3 cycles, I can get some mushrooms. Wonder if that'll be supplies. Farm is working, but you have to wait for fruiting bodies to grow for supplies. That's pretty good. We've got our own supply store now. That's excellent. We can use that to feed the cat. Yes, yes. Look, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. We'll continue this tomorrow, as always, possibly, if I can be bothered. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir, goodbye.